Welcome to this journey of courage and calm through the timeless wisdom of Zen Buddhism. I am honored to accompany you on this path today. Whether you find yourself seated on a cushion, resting in a chair, or lying down gently, I invite you now to make yourself comfortable. Let this moment be dedicated entirely to your well-being, your peace, and your growth. Begin by gently closing your eyes or softening your gaze, allowing the world outside to fade for a little while. Feel the weight of your body supported by the surface beneath you, the floor, the chair, the bed. Notice how this support holds you effortlessly, carrying you without strain. Give yourself permission to relax into this support, releasing any tension that may linger in your muscles or your mind. Now, let your attention settle on the breath. There is no need to change anything yet. Simply observe the natural rhythm of your inhalations and exhalations. Notice the subtle movement of your body as your chest rises and falls, your belly expands and contracts. Feel the air as it enters your nostrils cool and fresh and leaves warm and soft. Each breath is a gentle wave flowing in and out, a constant presence that anchors you in the here and now. As you become more aware of your breathing, invite yourself to take a deeper, fuller breath. Inhale slowly and completely through your nose, filling your lungs with fresh air. Hold for a moment, allowing the breath to nourish every cell of your body. Then exhale fully and completely, letting go of any tension, worry, or distraction. Feel your shoulders drop naturally as you exhale. Repeat this cycle 2 or 3 more times at your own pace, savoring the sensation of each deep breath. With every breath, allow yourself to arrive more fully in this present moment. Let the busyness of the day, the racing thoughts, the worries, and fears simply dissolve into the background. This is your time, a sacred pause where courage can arise and calm can settle like a soft blanket around your heart. Before we move forward, take a moment to set an intention for this practice. What do you wish to cultivate today? Perhaps it is courage, the quiet strength to face whatever challenges come your way without being overwhelmed by fear. Or perhaps it is calm, a steady presence that remains unshaken amidst the storms of life. Maybe it is both. Whatever your intention, hold it gently in your mind, like a precious seed waiting to grow. Know that there is no right or wrong way to experience this moment. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to be present with fear and move forward anyway. Calm is not the absence of noise, but the ability to rest peacefully amid the noise. This session will guide you through teachings, stories, and meditations drawn from Zen traditions, each designed to help you connect with these qualities deep within. As we begin, bring your awareness back to your breath. Feel the steady rise and fall, the quiet rhythm that connects your body and mind. If your thoughts wander, as minds naturally do, simply notice the distraction without judgment and gently return your attention to the breath. Imagine each breath as a tether, pulling you back into the safety of this moment, back into your own presence. You might notice subtle sensations in your body, a tingling in your hands, a softness in your chest, a heaviness in your legs. Allow yourself to be curious about these feelings without trying to change or fix them. This openness and acceptance create a foundation of trust and safety, where courage and calm can flourish. Now, begin to widen your awareness to the sounds around you. Notice the distant hums, the soft rustling of air, the gentle rhythm of your own heartbeat. None of these sounds require your attention. They simply are. As you listen, let your mind become like a calm lake reflecting the sky. Without disturbance, thoughts may come and go like passing clouds, but your presence remains steady, unshaken. Take another slow, deep breath in and let it go fully. Feel the space that opens within you, the gentle pause between each breath. This space is always present, a quiet refuge that exists beyond thought and fear. In Zen teachings, grounding yourself in the present moment is the first step to overcoming fear. Fear often lives in projections, in imagined futures, or remembered pasts. But when you anchor in the here and now, fear loses much of its power. Through mindful breathing and gentle awareness, you create an inner sanctuary where courage can be nurtured as you continue breathing calmly. Imagine yourself standing at the edge of a vast forest. The trees sway gently in the breeze, their leaves whispering ancient secrets of resilience and peace. With each breath, you step deeper into this forest of calm, feeling the earth firm beneath your feet, the air fresh in your lungs. Know that this practice is a journey. There will be moments of ease and moments of challenge. When fear or discomfort arise, greet them as you would an old friend, with kindness and curiosity, not resistance. Each breath you take is an opportunity to come home to yourself, to the steady ground beneath, and to the wisdom within. If you notice tension or tightness anywhere in your shoulders, your jaw, your belly, bring your breath to that place. Inhale warmth and softness into the area, and exhale tension and tightness. Feel the muscles relax and melt, releasing the weight they have carried. Now, gently begin to bring your awareness to your heartbeat. Feel its steady, rhythmic beat, a timeless drum connecting you to life itself. Each heartbeat is a reminder of your resilience and strength. Even when fear arises, this steady pulse remains a faithful companion as you sit or lie here, anchored by breath and presence. Affirm silently to yourself, I am here. I am safe. I am capable of facing fear with calm and courage. Let these words echo softly in your mind, planting seeds of trust and strength. Allow your breathing to return to its natural rhythm. Feel the support of the earth beneath you and the gentle flow of life within you. Carry this grounded calm with you as we move forward into deeper teachings and meditations. When you are ready, gently open your eyes or lift your gaze, carrying with you the intention of courage and calm throughout your day. Welcome back to this gentle journey into courage and calm. Now that you have settled your body and mind with mindful breathing, we begin to explore fear, a universal emotion that all humans experience. Today, we will see fear not as something to resist or be ashamed of, but as a natural, impermanent feeling that Zen Buddhism offers profound insights to understand and transform. Fear is one of the most primal responses of our being. It arises as an instinctual signal, a warning that something may threaten our safety or well-being. This instinct has been essential for our survival throughout evolution. Yet, while fear can protect us, it also can limit us when it grows unchecked or rooted in misunderstandings about ourselves and the world. From a Zen perspective, fear is a natural response. but it is neither permanent nor inherently overwhelming. It arises and passes like waves on the ocean's surface. To live fully, we need not be controlled by fear, but rather learn to see it clearly, without distortion or avoidance. At the heart of Zen teachings lies the concept of anicca, or impermanence, the understanding that all phenomena, including our emotions, arise, change, and eventually fade away. Fear, like all feelings, is subject to this natural flow. It is not a fixed part of who we are, but a temporary experience within the vastness of awareness in our daily lives. Fear often stems from attachment, the desire for safety, certainty, and control. We cling tightly to ideas about how things should be or to our personal sense of identity and security. When these attachments are threatened or challenged, fear naturally arises. Zen invites us to gently investigate these attachments and recognize how they shape our experience of fear. Consider, for a moment, how fear may have manifested in your own life. Perhaps it arises when you face the unknown, when circumstances shift unexpectedly, or when you anticipate loss or failure. Notice how fear often exaggerates possibilities, creating mental stories of danger or disaster that may never actually occur. These stories cloud our perception and make fear feel larger than it truly is. Zen teaches us that fear often arises from misperception, a mind that grasps at illusions rather than seeing reality clearly. The mind tends to label experiences as good or bad, safe or dangerous, and this dualistic thinking fuels anxiety. Fear feeds on these mental divisions and separations, convincing us that we are isolated, vulnerable, or powerless. But what if we could step back and observe fear with a fresh perspective? What if instead of reacting automatically, we paused to see fear simply as a passing sensation, without attaching stories or judgments to it? This kind of awareness is the gateway to transforming fear into courage. In Zen practice, this begins with Zazen sitting meditation, where we cultivate a direct, non-judgmental awareness of whatever arises in our experience. Fear is welcomed as part of the present moment, not pushed away or clung to. By sitting with fear, noticing its sensations in the body, the quality of the breath, and the flow of thoughts, we discover that fear is not a solid enemy, but a fluid guest. This openness to experience, without resistance, softens the grip of fear. The more we practice, the more we realize that fear arises because of a habit of grasping at permanence in an impermanent world. When we relax this habit and rest in the present moment, fear's power diminishes. Zen masters have long shared teachings on fear. One such teaching is that fear arises from the illusion of a separate self, the idea that I must be protected at all costs. This sense of separateness creates vulnerability and defensiveness. Yet, through insight, meditation, and compassionate awareness, Zen guides us to recognize the interconnectedness of all life. When we see that we are part of a larger whole, the need for protective fear softens. Imagine fear as a shadow cast by the ego, the mental self that clings tightly to identity and control. When the light of awareness shines fully, shadows dissolve. This does not mean denying fear, but recognizing it as a visitor, not a permanent resident. Let's explore how fear physically and mentally manifests. Often, fear causes the body to tense, the breath quickens, muscles tighten, and the heart beats faster. The mind becomes fixated on potential threats, narrowing attention and limiting perspective. This fight or flight response is natural, but can become habitual, triggering even in situations that do not require such urgency. In Zen, the body is not separate from the mind, but intimately connected. By bringing gentle awareness to physical sensations, the tightness in the chest, the flutter in the stomach, the constriction in the throat, we begin to witness fear as it arises without being swept away. This mindful witnessing allows fear to move through rather than stick. Moreover, Zen encourages us to question the stories that fuel fear. What assumptions or beliefs lie beneath the feeling? Are they true? Can they be seen with fresh eyes? This inquiry helps dissolve mental fabrications that exaggerate or distort fear. At times, fear may feel overwhelming or chronic. Zen does not promise instant eradication, but offers a patient path of gentle exploration and acceptance. Each moment spent observing fear with kindness and clarity weakens its hold. Let us also consider the nature of courage from a Zen viewpoint. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to face fear with open eyes and steady heart. It is a quality that arises naturally when we stop resisting and start embracing the present moment fully. In this way, courage and calm are companions. Calmness offers the spaciousness for courage to arise, and courage allows calmness to deepen, even amid uncertainty. Throughout this session, we will deepen our understanding of fear through Zen teachings, stories, and meditations. We will learn how to settle the restless mind, open the heart, and cultivate the quiet strength that lives beyond fear. Now, take a slow, deep breath, and as you exhale, imagine releasing any tension or anxiety held in your body or mind. Feel yourself rooted and steady, ready to explore fear with gentle awareness and open curiosity. Then the coming moments, you may notice fear as a subtle vibration or a strong wave. Whatever form it takes, invite it into your awareness without judgment. Allow fear to be what it is, a passing experience within the vastness of your being. Remember, this is a safe space for all feelings. There is no need to fix, change, or escape fear. Simply notice it as a Zen master might observe a leaf floating on a stream with quiet presence and acceptance. As you settle with this intention, allow the breath to carry you deeper into calm. Each inhale nourishes courage. Each exhale softens fear. With this foundation, you are ready to move deeper into the teachings and practices that will guide you towards greater courage and peace. Welcome once again to this peaceful space where courage and calm can grow. Now that we have begun to understand fear from a Zen perspective, we gently shift our attention inward to experience fear more directly. This segment invites you into a meditation practice of breathing into fear, a compassionate exploration that invites presence and ease into the sensations that fear creates within your body and mind. Begin by finding a comfortable and steady posture, either seated or lying down. Allow your body to relax as much as possible, yet stay awake and attentive. If sitting, ensure your spine is naturally straight but not rigid, allowing energy and breath to flow freely. Rest your hands gently on your lap or thighs. Close your eyes softly, or, if you prefer, maintain a soft gaze, allowing your vision to soften and your focus to turn inward. Start by bringing your awareness to your breathing. Don't try to change it, but simply observe the natural flow of breath, the gentle movement of air entering your nostrils, filling your lungs, expanding your belly or chest, and then releasing with ease. Notice the subtle rise and fall of your abdomen or the sensation of breath passing just inside your nostrils. Allow yourself to settle fully into this breath awareness. Let the breath anchor you in the present moment, steadying your mind like a calm lake reflecting the sky. Now, invite yourself to bring to mind the sensation of fear, perhaps a subtle unease, a flutter in the stomach, a tightness in the chest, or an anxious energy coursing through your body. Fear might appear as an emotion, a physical sensation, or a mixture of both. There is no need to force fear to arise. Simply open your attention gently and notice what is present. If fear is not immediately obvious, you might remember a recent moment of fear or anxiety, or you may simply notice any tension or discomfort in the body that could be related to fear. Trust your inner knowing and allow the experience of fear to come forward in whatever way it does. As you begin to sense fear, observe it with gentle curiosity. Do not try to suppress it or push it away, nor do you need to become overwhelmed or identify with it. Instead, meet fear as you would meet a guest arriving at your door with openness, acceptance, and kindness. Notice where in the body you feel fear most clearly. Perhaps it is a tightness in your throat, a pounding in your heart, a fluttering in your stomach, or a heaviness in your chest. Allow your awareness to rest on these sensations without judgment or analysis. As you focus on the physical presence of fear, bring your breath toward those areas. Imagine your breath as a warm, soothing wave, flowing in and out with ease. On the inhale, breathe gently into the area of tension or discomfort. Feel your breath expand the space there, like a soft light filling a shadowed corner. On the exhale, allow the breath to carry away some of the tightness or heaviness, releasing it slowly and gently. There is no rush. Breathe in comfort. Breathe out tension. Breathe in courage. Breathe out fear. With each cycle of breath, notice if the quality of fear shifts, perhaps becoming softer, less sharp, or more diffuse. Sometimes fear may ebb and flow like waves. Let it be as it is, without trying to hold on or resist. If your mind wanders, and it likely will, gently bring your attention back to the breath and the sensations of fear. Each return is an act of kindness toward yourself. Now, begin to notice the story that fear tells your mind. Is there a particular thought or image connected to this feeling? Perhaps a worry about the future, a memory of a past difficulty, or a mental picture of something unknown. Observe these thoughts with the same gentle curiosity you offer the body. Notice how they come and go, like clouds drifting across the sky. You are not your thoughts. You are the awareness watching them, if helpful. You might silently label these thoughts: worry, fear, planning, remembering. Simply note them and return your attention to the breath and the physical sensation of fear. Let us now deepen this practice by imagining fear as a living presence within you. It is not an enemy to be defeated, but a messenger carrying information about your needs, boundaries, or values. Ask silently, what does this fear want me to know? What is it protecting? Allow space for whatever arises. You might feel gratitude toward fear for its role in keeping you safe. You might discover that fear signals a need for care or attention. Breathe in a sense of openness to this message. Breathe out resistance or judgment toward your experience. As you continue to breathe into fear, notice how your relationship to it may begin to shift. Fear might become less overwhelming as you meet it with presence instead of pushing it away. This meeting is a form of courage, not the absence of fear, but the willingness to be with fear without being consumed by it. If your heart feels tight, soften it with your breath. Imagine the breath flowing through your chest, melting away tension and creating space for ease. If fear feels sharp or urgent, allow it room to move through your body like a wave, rising, cresting, and falling, knowing that no feeling lasts forever. Remember, fear is like the weather of the mind, sometimes stormy, sometimes calm, always changing. By breathing into fear, you learn to ride its waves with grace and presence rather than being tossed about. Now, expand your awareness beyond fear alone. Sense the entirety of your experience, breath, body, mind, as a vast field of awareness. Within this field, fear is only one part, passing and impermanent. Rest for a few moments in this spacious awareness, breathing gently and calmly. As we begin to close this meditation, take a deep inhale, filling your lungs fully. Exhale slowly and completely, releasing any remaining tension. Bring gentle movement back to your fingers and toes, inviting vitality and groundedness. When you feel ready, softly open your eyes or lift your gaze. Take a moment to notice how you feel now, perhaps lighter, calmer, or more spacious. Remember that this practice of breathing into fear is always available to you. Anytime fear arises, you can invite the breath to be your anchor, the body your guide, and awareness your companion. Fear need not be your master. It can become your teacher as you move through your day. Carry with you this gentle courage born from presence. Thank you for sharing this meditation. May your path be peaceful, courageous, and kind. Let us now journey into an ancient Zen story, a timeless teaching that holds deep wisdom about fear and courage. This story invites us to meet fear not as an enemy to be defeated, but as a presence to be acknowledged with calm and openness. It teaches us that courage is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to be present with fear, embracing it as part of the human experience. Long ago, in a quiet mountain monastery nestled among ancient pines and flowing streams, there lived a wise Zen monk named Kaizen. Kaizen was known throughout the region for his calm demeanor, deep insight, and the gentle way he helped his students face their inner struggles. One day, a young student named Hiroshi arrived at the monastery, seeking guidance. Hiroshi had traveled far, driven by a restless heart, burdened with anxiety and fear. He was overwhelmed by worries, fear of failure, fear of loss, fear of the unknown. His mind was like a storm-tossed sea, and he yearned to find peace. When Hiroshi met Kaizen, he bowed deeply and confessed, "Master, I come to you because my heart is full of fear. It controls me, shakes me, and clouds my mind. I wish to be free, but I do not know how." Kaizen smiled kindly and replied, "Fear is a visitor we all know. It comes and goes like the wind. Courage is not to chase it away, but to welcome it with open arms." Unsatisfied, Hiroshi pressed, "But Master, how can I be courageous when I am trembling with fear inside. Kaisan nodded knowingly. Come, let me show you. The monk led Hiroshi to a clearing in the forest where tall bamboo stalks swayed gently in the breeze. The air was fresh and alive, filled with the songs of birds and the rustle of leaves. Kaisan said, "Stand here, Hiroshi. Feel the earth beneath your feet. Close your eyes and listen to the sounds around you." Hiroshi obeyed. At first, his mind raced with fears, but slowly he began to notice the soft hum of the forest, the cool touch of the wind, the steady beat of his heart. After a moment, Kaisan spoke again. "Now, imagine your fear as a dark cloud passing through the sky of your mind. You cannot hold it, nor must you run from it. Simply watch it float by." Hiroshi opened his eyes and looked up at the sky, a vast canvas of blue dotted with white clouds drifting lazily. "Fear is like this cloud," Kaisan continued, "present but not permanent. Your courage is the open sky beneath it, vast and unshaken." Hiroshi nodded, feeling a flicker of calm. But then, suddenly, a rustling noise came from the nearby thicket. A snake slithered out, its scales glinting ominously. Hiroshi froze. His heart pounded, and his breath caught in his throat. The familiar surge of fear gripped him tightly. Kaisan saw the change immediately. Without hesitation, he stepped forward calmly and gently moved the snake aside, guiding it back into the underbrush. Turning to Hiroshi, Kaisan said, "See, fear arises when the unknown appears. But courage is to face the unknown without fleeing." Hiroshi's voice trembled as he asked, "But Master, what if the fear is too strong? What if it overwhelms me?" Kaisan smiled and replied, "True courage is not the absence of fear. It is standing with fear, not above it or beyond it, but right here, in the middle, breathing through it." He then sat down, cross-legged, inviting Hiroshi to do the same. "Close your eyes," Kaisan instructed softly. "Bring your attention to your breath, steady and calm. When fear arises, breathe into it. Feel it fully without resistance." Hiroshi obeyed, closing his eyes and tuning into his breath. At first, fear surged like a wild river, but with each inhale and exhale, he began to feel a steadying presence within. "Fear can feel like a roaring storm," Kaisan said, "but beneath the storm is the stillness of the earth. Your breath is that stillness." Hiroshi breathed deeply, feeling the wave of fear come and go like tides on the shore. Slowly, the storm began to lose its fury. "When you face fear with presence," Kaisan continued, "you allow it to teach you. Fear points to what you value. It invites you to be brave, not by fighting, but by being fully here." Opening his eyes, Hiroshi felt a shift, not the disappearance of fear, but a new relationship with it. Fear was no longer a tyrant, but a companion, urging him to wake up and live fully. This story of the Zen monk and the fearful student is more than an ancient tale. It is a mirror reflecting our own relationship with fear. Many of us believe that courage means not feeling fear at all. We think that brave people are those who never tremble or hesitate. But Zen teaches something deeper, that courage lives in the willingness to be present with fear, to breathe with it, to soften around it. In fact, courage and fear often arise together, like two sides of the same coin. They dance in tandem. When fear rises, courage whispers, "Stay here, watch, breathe." Imagine fear as the shadow, cast by our deepest values, the things we hold dear, the unknowns that challenge our security. Fear surfaces because we care deeply. It is not a weakness, but a sign of life. The Zen path does not ask us to deny fear or pretend it does not exist. Instead, it invites us to meet fear directly, with an open heart and steady breath. By embracing fear as part of the human experience, we begin to loosen its grip. We find that beneath fear's surface lies a vast reservoir of calm, presence, and wisdom. You may notice in your own life moments when fear arises before a big change, during uncertainty, or facing the unknown. The practice of courage as presence means offering breath and awareness to these moments rather than fleeing or resisting. This practice unfolds slowly, one breath at a time. Breathing into fear does not mean forcing it away, but allowing it space to move. When you feel fear tighten your chest, breathe softly into that area. Imagine your breath as a gentle wave washing over the tightness, dissolving it with kindness. When your mind races with fearful thoughts, acknowledge them without judgment. Label them as fear, worry, or anxiety. Then return your attention to the breath. In this way, you build a foundation of courage grounded in presence rather than avoidance. Remember, courage is not a heroic battle, but a humble sitting with what is. It is the simple act of returning again and again to the present moment, no matter what arises, as you continue your practice today. Invite the story of the Zen monk and his fearful student to be a guide. When fear appears, recall the image of the open sky beneath the passing clouds. Know that within you lies the capacity to face fear with steady breath and gentle presence. Let us take a few moments now to breathe deeply together, inviting calm and courage to fill this space. Inhale deeply. Feel your lungs expand. Exhale fully. Release tension. Inhale again. Steady your mind. Exhale slowly. Ground in presence. Allow your breath to be the anchor as you move forward in this journey. Thank you for sharing this time and space with courage and kindness. In this segment, we turn our attention to understanding the true nature of courage, not as the absence of fear, but as the remarkable ability to face fear with mindful awareness and presence. In many parts of the world, courage is often imagined as something heroic and bold. Fearless warriors charging into battle, brave heroes conquering dangers, or those who appear invincible and unshakable. This cultural image suggests that courage means never feeling afraid, or at least never showing fear. But Zen Buddhism offers a profoundly different view. Zen invites us to see courage as something far more subtle, humble, and accessible. In Zen, courage is not the lack of fear. It is not pretending to be fearless or hiding fear behind bravado. Instead, courage is the willingness to meet fear as it arises without judgment, without fleeing, without resistance, and to remain present and aware. Courage is mindfulness in action, a steady, gentle attention that observes fear and discomfort fully, but does not become overwhelmed or controlled by them. Let us consider this more deeply. Fear is a natural, universal experience. It arises whenever we sense threat or uncertainty, whether physical danger, emotional pain, loss, or the unknown. Fear signals to us what matters deeply, what our survival depends on, or what we value. To deny fear is to deny a part of our humanity. It is neither realistic nor helpful to expect ourselves to be fearless. Rather, courage lies in how we relate to fear once it arises. Imagine fear as a dark cloud crossing the sky of your mind. The sky itself, the vast awareness of your being, not disturbed or diminished by the cloud's passage. The cloud appears, moves across, and then disappears. Courage is to recognize the cloud without becoming caught in it. One way Zen teaches courage is through the practice of non-dual awareness. In ordinary experience, we tend to split the world into dualities, good and bad, safe and dangerous, self and other, fear and courage. We see courage as the opposite of fear, one good, one bad. We believe we must banish fear to be courageous, but Zen invites us beyond this dualistic thinking. In truth, fear and courage coexist. One does not negate the other. Rather, they are aspects of the same experience. When you feel afraid, you also have the choice to be courageous. Courage arises in the space between feeling fear and how you respond to it, between the initial sensation of fear and the decision to act or react. There is a moment-to-moment of awareness and choice. This moment is where courage blooms. Let's take a moment to reflect on this. Have you noticed times when fear arose, but you chose to stay present with it rather than retreat? Perhaps in small moments, difficult conversation, a new challenge, or a personal risk, you felt fear but still moved forward. That movement, that presence, despite fear, that was courage. Courage is often quiet. It is not always loud or dramatic. It is a calm, steady presence. Zen teaches that cultivating courage begins with cultivating mindfulness without judgment. When you become aware of fear, you stop running from it or reacting out of habit. You give yourself a space, a pause where you can choose how to respond. This awareness is the root of courage. Another essential teaching is that courage is grounded in acceptance. Acceptance does not mean resignation or passivity. It means acknowledging reality as it is, including fear, without fighting or denying it. When we accept fear as part of our experience, it loses some of its power to control us. Resistance feeds fear and intensifies suffering. Acceptance allows the energy of fear to flow through us without getting stuck. Zen master Shunryu Suzuki Roshi said, "In the beginner's mind, there are many possibilities, but in the expert's, there are few." The beginner's mind approaches fear with openness, curiosity, and acceptance, qualities essential to true courage. Courage is also intimately linked to compassion. When we cultivate courage, we are often motivated by compassion for ourselves or others. We choose to face fear, not only for our own growth, but also to act in ways that help or protect others. In this way, courage and compassion dance together. Compassion gives courage its strength and meaning, and courage enables compassion to manifest even in difficult circumstances. Let us now engage in a brief contemplation. Think of a recent situation where you felt fear. Recall how you experienced that fear physically, emotionally, and mentally. Did you try to push it away? Did you avoid it? Or did you face it with a mindful breath and steady heart? Reflect on what courage looked like in that moment. No matter how small, even the smallest act of facing fear is an expression of courage. In Zen, courage is not only for dramatic moments, but for the everyday challenges that test us. It is in the daily practice of presence, in breathing through discomfort, in facing uncertainty, that courage is forged. This steady practice strengthens us over time, building resilience. As the Zen saying goes, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Each moment of mindful presence is a step toward greater courage to deepen this understanding. Let's bring our attention to the body. Fear often shows itself physically: tightness in the chest, rapid heartbeat, tension in the muscles. When you notice these sensations, instead of pushing them away, invite them into your awareness. Breathe gently into the area of tension. Allow the breath to soften and open the body. Feel the courage of simply being here with what is. This physical openness supports mental openness and courage. Remember, courage is not about controlling or eliminating fear. It is about befriending it, welcoming fear as a teacher rather than an enemy. When you practice this, fear becomes a doorway rather than a wall. Each time you breathe through fear, you expand your capacity for calm and courage. Before we close this segment, I invite you to take a few mindful breaths with me. Breathe in deeply. Feel your lungs expand. Breathe out fully. Release tension. Breathe in courage. Breathe out fear. Breathe in presence. Breathe out resistance. Allow each breath to root you deeper into mindful courage as you continue your day or night. Remember that courage is always available to you, not as an absence of fear, but as your steady presence in the face of fear. May you find strength in your breath and calm in your awareness. Thank you for sharing this moment of courage and kindness with yourself. Begin by finding a comfortable and supported posture. Whether sitting on a cushion, chair, or lying down, allow your body to settle into a position that feels relaxed yet alert. Gently close your eyes if that feels comfortable, or soften your gaze toward the floor. Take a moment to notice the weight of your body resting against the surface beneath you. Feel the support holding you fully and safely. Allow yourself to be grounded here, fully present in this moment. Now, bring your attention to your breath. Begin to observe its natural rhythm, not trying to change it, but simply noticing. Feel the coolness of the air as it enters your nostrils, the gentle warmth as it flows out. Sense the rise and fall of your chest or belly with each inhale and exhale. As you follow your breath, allow your body to soften around it. Soften your jaw, your shoulders, your belly. With every outbreath, imagine releasing any tension, any tightness, any heaviness. Now, with your breath as your anchor, let's gently invite the quality of courage to arise within you, not as something forced or produced, but as a natural presence growing from your steady awareness. Picture courage not as an absence of fear, but as a calm, glowing light that burns softly but firmly within your chest. This light is steady and warm. It does not need to roar or blaze. It simply shines with quiet strength. As you breathe in, imagine drawing this light deeper into your heart space. With each inhale, welcome the steady warmth of courage. With each exhale, release doubt, resistance, or hesitation. Feel this steady light expand softly, spreading warmth and openness throughout your chest, your shoulders, your arms, your entire body. If your mind wanders it, thoughts of fear, worry, or distraction arise, gently notice them without judgment. Like clouds passing through a wide sky, acknowledge these thoughts, and then bring your attention back to the breath and the glowing light of courage within. There is no rush, no expectation, Courage is a patient friend who waits quietly in the background, always available when we choose to notice. Now, let's deepen this connection. Imagine yourself standing at the edge of a calm lake at dawn. The surface of the water is smooth and clear, reflecting the soft colors of the morning sky. Feel the ground solid beneath your feet, steady and strong. Notice how you feel rooted, supported, grounded as you breathe in. Feel a gentle breeze brushing across the water and your face. This breeze carries with it all the qualities of courage, steadiness, openness, resilience. With each breath, allow yourself to feel more anchored in this strength. Now, bring to mind a moment when you felt afraid or uncertain. It may be something recent or distant, large or small. Allow this memory to come gently into focus without pushing it away or clinging to it. Notice how the body feels as you recall this moment of fear. Where is the sensation? Is it tightness in the chest, a flutter in the stomach, a constriction in the throat? Breathe into this area with kindness. Imagine your breath flowing like warm sunlight, bathing this place of fear, softening and loosening tension. As you breathe in, say silently to yourself, I am here. As you breathe out, say silently, I am safe. Feel how these simple words anchor you in the present moment, safe, grounded, here. Remember that courage is not the absence of fear, but the presence of awareness alongside it in this moment. You are both aware of fear and welcoming courage. Both can coexist. Allow this spaciousness to deepen the space where fear and courage meet. Feel how this meeting softens fear's grip and invites a gentle confidence to rise as you continue breathing. Imagine this courage as a steady flame inside your heart. This flame does not burn away fear instantly, but it offers a beacon, a guide, a source of warmth and light. This flame is your inner strength, your resilience, your wisdom. Breathe in and feel this flame grow brighter and steadier. Breathe out and let go of doubt, judgment, or self-criticism. Now, expand your awareness beyond your heart to your entire body. Feel this courage-infused presence flow through your limbs, your hands, your feet. Feel your spine straighten gently but firmly. Rooted like a tree, your body holds wisdom and strength as much as your mind. Notice how courage is embodied in your posture, your breath, your very being. Allow yourself to sit with this embodied courage for a few moments. Now, bring your attention to your mind. Thoughts may come and go, plans, worries, memories. Notice these thoughts as clouds in the vast sky of your awareness. You are not your thoughts. You are the sky, open, vast, unchanging. Courage arises when you rest in this open awareness and do not become entangled in the swirling clouds of fear or doubt. Rest here, now, in the open sky of your mind, the steady light in your heart, the grounded strength of your body. Allow yourself to simply be fully present, fully courageous. If there is any part of you that feels hesitant or reluctant, breathe into that with kindness. Say silently, it is okay to feel this. Say silently, I am learning to be courageous. Remember that courage is a practice. It grows with patience and kindness. It is okay to begin where you are. You do not need to be perfect or fearless. You only need to be present. Now, let's bring this practice into the world. Imagine a challenge you are facing or anticipate facing soon. It might be a difficult conversation, a new experience, a personal fear, or uncertainty about the future. Visualize yourself meeting this challenge with the courage you have cultivated here today. See yourself breathing steadily, feeling the warm light in your heart. Notice your body grounded, your mind calm and clear. See yourself taking a step forward, not rushed or forced, but steady and mindful. Imagine how this courage supports you through the challenge, like a trusted companion. Feel the sense of possibility that courage opens the freedom to move forward. Despite uncertainty, know that this courage is always available to you, no matter what arises. You can return to your breath, to the steady flame in your heart, to your grounded body. These are your allies, your sources of strength. As we near the end of this meditation, gently bring your awareness back to your breath. Feel the natural rhythm of inhale and exhale. Notice the gentle rise and fall in your body. Sense the presence of courage within you steady. Warm, quiet, take a few more deep breaths, breathing in courage, breathing out fear. When you feel ready, gently open your eyes or lift your gaze. Take a moment to notice how you feel now compared to before the meditation. You may feel lighter, more grounded, or more at peace. Remember that cultivating courage is a journey. Each breath, each moment of presence strengthens this quality within you. Carry this calm, steady courage with you as you move through your day or evening. Thank you for joining this meditation practice. May courage and calm accompany you always. In this segment, we explore a profound teaching rooted deeply in Zen philosophy and Buddhist wisdom, the middle way. This path guides us to balance the qualities of bravery and wisdom, helping us avoid two common pitfalls that can arise when facing fear: reckless impulsiveness and immobilizing paralysis. When we confront fear, our responses often fall into one of two extremes. On one hand, there is recklessness, rushing headlong into situations without consideration or awareness, fueled by impulsive bravado or denial of fear. On the other hand, there is paralysis, freezing, avoiding, or withdrawing from challenge, allowing fear to hold us captive. Zen wisdom invites us to move beyond these extremes, to cultivate a middle way, a steady path that is neither impulsive nor stagnant, but one where courage is grounded in clear mindfulness and wise discernment. Understanding the extremes to appreciate the middle way, we first need to understand the two extremes that it balances. Recklessness is often mistaken for courage. It can manifest as rushing into danger or decisions without pausing to assess the risks or consequences. Recklessness ignores or suppresses fear, sometimes through bravado, adrenaline, or denial. While it may appear bold externally, recklessness can lead to harm, not only physical, but emotional or relational. It may cause burnout, mistakes, or regrets because it neglects reflection and grounded awareness. Recklessness often comes from misunderstanding courage as the absence of fear, rather than courage as presence with fear. When we reject fear or act as if it does not exist, we risk being unprepared and disconnected from our true capacity to respond wisely. Paralysis, in contrast, occurs when fear becomes overwhelming, immobilizing, or confusing. It manifests as avoidance, procrastination, or complete withdrawal from opportunities or challenges. Paralysis may come from a deep desire for safety or from being overwhelmed by uncertainty. While caution is wise, paralysis can prevent growth, healing, and fulfillment. It can cause us to miss chances, deepen anxiety, or create feelings of stagnation and frustration. Paralysis often arises from seeing fear as a wall to be feared or escaped, rather than a signal to be acknowledged and engaged with. The middle way. In Zen teachings emphasize the middle way, madhyam prapadat, in Sanskrit, as a path of balance and harmony, avoiding extremes in thought and action to find peace, clarity, and effective living. The middle way is not a compromise or a bland in-between. It is a dynamic, lived wisdom, a practice of sensing, responding, and adjusting with awareness. It honors the presence of fear, but does not let fear dominate or disappear. It embraces courage that is mindful and grounded. This courage neither denies fear nor surrenders to it, but meets fear as a wise companion. Cultivating the middle way. How do we cultivate this balanced path between recklessness and paralysis? Zen offers us several guiding principles and practical steps. 1. Mindful awareness of fear. The first step is to recognize fear not as a threat to be battled or avoided, but as a natural and impermanent experience to be observed. When fear arises, instead of reacting impulsively or freezing, pause and turn your attention inward with curiosity and kindness. Notice how fear feels in the body and mind. Where is the sensation? What thoughts accompany it? Without judgment or resistance, simply witness these feelings as part of your present experience. This mindful observation creates space between the stimulus fear and your response, opening the possibility for wise action. Point 2. Reflect with wisdom. Next, reflect on the situation with a calm, clear mind. Ask yourself, what is the nature of this fear? Is it based on a real, immediate threat, or a projection of possible future scenarios? What information do I need to assess this situation clearly? What is within my control and what is not? What are the potential consequences of acting or not acting? How can I respond in a way that honors both my safety and my growth? This reflective pause helps temper impulsivity and fear-driven hesitation. It invites wise discernment, seeing clearly what the moment calls. 3. Step with intention, armed with mindful awareness and reflection. Choose your next step with intention. This step might be bold or cautious, immediate or delayed, but it is grounded in presence and wisdom. Taking action does not mean being fearless. It means acting despite fear with awareness and care. Pausing to breathe deeply before moving allows your body and mind to align. Imagine the steadiness of a bamboo, flexible yet strong, able to bend without breaking. For practice, patience and compassion. The middle way also involves patience with yourself and with life's unfolding. Sometimes the wise path is waiting, gathering strength, or preparing. Other times it is moving forward with gentle courage. Be compassionate toward yourself when fear or uncertainty slows you down, or when you misstep. Zen teaches that every moment, no matter how small, is an opportunity for awakening. The middle way. In daily life, practicing the middle way is not only for extraordinary moments of fear, but also for everyday challenges. When facing a difficult conversation, a new project, or a personal change, this path encourages balanced engagement. For example, if you feel nervous before a presentation, instead of rushing recklessly through it or avoiding it entirely, take a mindful breath, acknowledge the fear, prepare thoughtfully, and step forward with calm presence. Metaphors to illuminate the middle way. Several Zen metaphors help deepen our understanding of this balance. The bamboo and the oak. The bamboo bends with the wind, flexible and resilient. The oak stands firm, but may break in a storm. Similarly, the middle way invites us to be strong, yet flexible, courageous, yet wise. The archer, a skilled archer, does not rush or hesitate excessively. She breathes steadily, aims carefully, and releases the arrow with focus. This is the middle way in action. Measured courage combined with mindful wisdom. Challenges in finding the middle way. It is important to recognize that finding this balance is a lifelong practice. Our conditioning and habitual responses often pull us toward one extreme or the other. When fear is strong, recklessness or paralysis may seem like the only options, but with patience and consistent mindfulness practice, we can gradually cultivate the spaciousness needed to choose differently. Practical tips to cultivate the middle way. Pause before acting. When fear arises, take at least 3 conscious breaths before responding. Check in with your body. Notice tension, tightness, or relaxation to inform your readiness. Seek clarity, gather facts, and listen to intuition without rushing to conclusions. Set boundaries. Courage is not recklessness. Respect your limits and values. Embrace uncertainty. Accept that some outcomes are unknown and that courage includes facing the unknown. Learn from mistakes. See errors as opportunities to deepen wisdom rather than failures. The middle way and courage. True courage in Zen is the ability to walk this balanced path, to be fully present with fear and still move forward with calm determination. That is a quiet strength, not loud bravado. This courage fosters resilience, deepens trust in oneself, and opens the door to freedom. As you reflect on your own relationship with fear, consider, do you tend toward impulsive action or avoidance? How can you invite more mindful presence into moments of fear? What steps can you take to practice the middle way in your daily life? Remember, courage is a path walked moment by moment. Each mindful breath and intentional step strengthens this way. In the gentle light of early morning, 2 ancient trees stood side by side in a vast forest, mighty oak and a slender bamboo. The oak, with its thick, sturdy trunk and sprawling branches, seemed to embody strength and permanence. Its roots dug deep into the earth, anchoring it firmly against the winds and storms that passed through the forest. Nearby, the bamboo grew tall and graceful, its thin stalks swaying effortlessly with the slightest breeze, bending and flowing with the rhythm of nature. As seasons changed, the forest witnessed many storms, some mild, others fierce and relentless. In the harshest gales, the oak stood proudly, refusing to bow or bend. It braced itself against the wind, rooted deep and steadfast. The bamboo, by contrast, bent low, almost touching the ground at times, seeming fragile and delicate, yet never breaking. One particularly violent storm swept through the forest with howling winds and pounding rain. The oak strained against the gale, its branches creaking and groaning under the pressure. Suddenly, with a thunderous crack, the mighty oak snapped and fell, uprooted by the very force it tried to resist. The bamboo, having bent with the storm, sprang back upright when the winds died down, untouched and unharmed. This simple parable, the story of the bamboo and the oak offers profound insight into resilience, courage, and the art of embracing change. It teaches us that true strength lies not only in unyielding force, but also in flexibility and rootedness, in knowing when to stand firm and when to bend with life's shifting winds. The oak and the bamboo, symbols of two ways to face life's challenges. The oak tree is often admired for its strength and majesty. It stands tall and solid, a symbol of endurance and steadfastness. Its deep roots anchor it securely, allowing it to weather many storms. In our lives, the oak represents determination, willpower, and the desire to maintain control over circumstances. It is the part of us that resists change, that wants to hold on to what is familiar and stable. The bamboo, on the other hand, embodies a different kind of strength, one based on flexibility and adaptability. Though its stalks may seem fragile compared to the oak's thick trunk, bamboo's true power lies in its ability to bend without breaking. This flexibility allows it to survive and thrive in conditions that would snap more rigid plants. That bamboo teaches us the wisdom of yielding, of flowing with the currents of life rather than struggling against them. The courage to be both rooted and flexible. What does this story say about courage? Courage is often misunderstood as bold, fearless action or unwavering strength. Yet courage can also be found in softness and adaptability. The bamboo's courage lies in its willingness to bend with the storm, to surrender temporarily without losing its essence. The oak's courage lies in its steadfastness, its deep-rooted commitment to stand tall despite the winds in life. Courage demands both these qualities, being firmly grounded in our values and identity, while also remaining open and flexible to change. When we resist change with rigidness, like the oak refusing to bend, we risk breaking under pressure. When we yield too much, losing our sense of self, we become like a reed blown uncontrollably by every wind, lacking direction and strength. True resilience and courage come from balancing these qualities: rootedness and flexibility, strength and softness, applying the parable to our inner lives in the face of fear and uncertainty. Many of us instinctively try to hold on tightly onto our beliefs, habits, plans, or emotional states. This is the oak's way, gripping the ground, bracing against the storm. While this may feel like courage, it can also create inner tension and suffering when life's winds grow strong. Alternatively, some people respond to fear by withdrawing, shutting down, or becoming overly compliant, bending so much they lose their center. This is the bamboo without roots, bending but not anchored. Without grounding, such flexibility can lead to confusion, anxiety, or loss of identity. Zen teaches us to cultivate courage by developing a strong inner root, our core values, awareness, and true nature, while practicing flexibility in how we respond to external circumstances. Like the bamboo, we learn to flow with change, releasing resistance, yet always returning to our center. The storms we face in life, the storms that test our courage, are not always literal. Often they are the emotional, mental, and situational challenges we encounter. Fear of failure, loss, uncertainty, or rejection can feel like powerful winds threatening to uproot us. The oak's response is to brace and resist, tightening the grip. The bamboo's response is to bend and sway, embracing the flow. Both responses are natural. But Zen invites us to recognize when resistance leads to suffering and when flexibility fosters peace, cultivating rootedness, building our inner strength to be like the bamboo, yet grounded like the oak. We first cultivate rootedness and inner strength and stability that comes from mindfulness and self-awareness. Mindfulness practice by observing our thoughts and emotions without judgment. We cultivate a steady awareness that anchors us in the present moment. This awareness forms the roots that nourish resilience. Connecting with values, reflect on what truly matters to you: compassion, honesty, kindness, or courage. These values act as deep roots, giving purpose and direction amidst change. Self-compassion, rootedness, grows from treating ourselves with kindness and patience, acknowledging our vulnerabilities without harshness, cultivating flexibility, learning to bend without breaking. Equally important is cultivating flexibility, learning to respond to life's changing conditions with openness and adaptability. Acceptance of impermanence. Zen reminds us that all things change, and clinging causes suffering. Embracing impermanence allows us to flow with life's rhythms, letting go of control. Flexibility comes from releasing the need to control outcomes, allowing ourselves to adjust course as needed. Creative problem-solving. Flexibility encourages exploring new perspectives and solutions rather than rigidly sticking to old patterns. Practical steps to embody the bamboo and the oak. Daily mindfulness. Set aside moments to breathe deeply and observe your inner state. Notice where you feel tension or rigidity and where you feel open. Body awareness. Practice gentle stretches or yoga to cultivate physical flexibility, which can translate into mental and emotional pliancy. Reflection. At the end of each day, journal about moments when you resisted or embraced change. Celebrate your flexibility and notice where you tightened like the oak. Breathwork. When feeling overwhelmed by fear or resistance, breathe deeply, imagining your roots growing deep into the earth and your branches swaying gently with the wind. Stories of courage from nature and Zen masters. Throughout Zen literature, the metaphor of trees and plants often appears to illustrate resilience and courage. The Wind and the Willow. A story tells of a willow tree that bends and sways with the wind, never breaking. Its secret is softness and deep roots. Hakuin, Eikaku's teaching. The famous Zen master Hakuin taught that true courage is not absence of fear, but the ability to face it with calm presence, like the bamboo, standing tall and bending gracefully. Reflecting on your own inner oak and bamboo. Ask yourself, in what ways do you behave like the oak, resisting change with force? When do you embody the bamboo, bending with uncertainty and letting go? How can you cultivate more balance, being rooted yet flexible? By exploring these questions mindfully, you begin to develop the middle path of courageous, steady presence that embraces change with grace. The story of the bamboo and the oak invites us to reconsider our ideas of strength and courage. True resilience does not come from rigid resistance or careless recklessness, but from a harmonious balance of rootedness and flexibility. Like the bamboo, we can learn to bend with life's storms, meeting fear and uncertainty with calm acceptance and mindful courage. And like the oak, we can ground ourselves deeply in our values and inner awareness, drawing strength from the earth beneath us. This balanced courage guides us through life's inevitable changes, enabling us to remain peaceful, present, and whole amid the winds of change. As we move deeper into this practice, we will explore the balance of rooting ourselves firmly while remaining flexible and open, like the bamboo and the oak we reflected on earlier. This meditation invites you to embody both groundedness and adaptive openness, cultivating resilience and calm presence. Begin by finding a comfortable seated or lying position. Allow your body to settle softly, releasing any unnecessary tension. Close your eyes if that feels good, or gently soften your gaze. Let's start by bringing attention to the breath. Feel the natural rhythm of your inhalations and exhalations. There's no need to change or control your breathing. Simply notice it as it flows in and out, grounding through breath and body awareness. Now, imagine roots extending from the base of your spine, your sitting bones, or the soles of your feet, wherever your body makes contact with the surface beneath you. Visualize these roots growing deep into the earth, reaching down through the layers of soil, stones, and water, connecting you with the steadily nourishing energy of the ground. With every inhale, imagine drawing strength and stability up through these roots into your body. Feel this energy rising gently through your legs, your torso, your chest. It is grounding energy, solid, supportive, calm. With every exhale, release any heaviness, tension, or restlessness down through your roots and into the earth, where it can be neutralized and transformed. Allow your breath to anchor you herein, this moment, in this body, rooted deeply like a tree, embodying rootedness in the body now. Slowly bring your attention to your feet. Feel the weight of your feet pressing into the ground. Notice the texture beneath them, the firmness, the coolness, or warmth. Sense the connection between your feet and the earth. Move your awareness up through your legs. Notice how your legs support your body's weight. Feel the muscles relaxed yet engaged, strong yet pliable. Imagine that the stability of the earth beneath you fills your legs with resilience and calm. Shift your attention to your pelvis and lower back. Feel the solid foundation here. This is your root center, the place where your body meets the earth. With each breath, deepen your connection to this foundation. Sense the strength and security it provides. Allow this grounded feeling to rise through your spine, your chest, your shoulders. Notice the natural uprightness of your posture, balanced and aligned, not rigid, but alert and steady. Breathe into this sensation of being rooted, stable, secure, centered, inviting flexibility and openness. Now, as you remain connected to the earth, turn your awareness to your upper body, your arms, your hands, your neck, and your head. Sense the lightness, hear the capacity to move, to sway, to adapt. Imagine your arms as branches, your fingers as leaves, gently moving with the breeze. Your neck and head can turn and tilt with ease, responding to the currents around you. Allow your breath to guide a subtle movement in your body, perhaps a gentle sway or stretch. Feel the natural flow of flexibility and ease. Remember that just as your roots hold you steady, your branches and leaves remain open, flexible, and responsive. Embody this balanced, solid rootedness below, supple openness above, coordinates above, coordinating breath and movement. Now we will coordinate breath and movement to deepen this embodied sense of balance. On your next inhale, slowly raise your arms out to the sides, like branches extending toward the sky. Feel the openness of your chest, the stretch along your sides. On the exhale, gently lower your arms back down, releasing any tension. Repeat this movement several times, syncing breath and motion. Inhale, open, reach, expand. Exhale, soften, release, return. As you do this, maintain the sense of rootedness in your lower body. The connection to the earth remains strong and steady. Notice how your body feels, balanced between the firm roots, grounding you and the flowing flexibility moving through your arms and upper body, embracing the flow between stability and change. Now, bring your awareness back to stillness. Rest your arms by your sides or on your lap. Close your eyes if you had them open. Reflect on the dynamic interplay of stability and change within your body and mind. Just as the bamboo bends and the oak stands firm, your practice is to cultivate both these qualities, rootedness and flexibility, in your daily life. Breathing in, invite steady groundedness. Breathing out, invite open surrender to life's flow. Visualization, the bamboo in the wind. Imagine yourself as a tall bamboo stalk standing in a gentle breeze. Feel the strength in your roots anchoring you deeply into the earth. Notice how your body bends and sways gracefully with the wind, never resisting, but always adapting. But feel the power in this flexibility. Though the wind may push and pull, you remain unbroken, fluid, alive. Breathing in, you draw strength from your deep roots. Breathing out, you release tension and allow your branches to move freely, expanding the meditation to emotional flexibility. Now bring your attention inward to your emotional landscape. Notice any feelings of tension, fear, resistance, or discomfort. These are like strong winds or storms as you breathe. Imagine your emotions as the bamboo's branches, flexible, able to bend and sway rather than break. Inhale, invite strength and grounding. Exhale, soften resistance and welcome openness. Allow yourself to be with whatever arises without judgment or struggle. Embracing change with courage and ease. In Zen philosophy, courage is not the absence of fear, but the presence of calm awareness amidst change. This meditation invites you to practice courage through rootedness and flexibility. Let your body be your teacher. When fear or resistance arises, remember the oak that stands firm and the bamboo that bends. Feel your breath as a steady current supporting you. Breathe in courage. Breathe out tension, anchoring the practices. We prepare to close this meditation. Bring your awareness once more to your breath, your body, and your connection to the earth. Feel the steady support beneath you. Feel your body grounded and open. Know that you can return to this place of balance, rooted yet flexible, anytime you need. When you feel ready, gently bring your awareness back to the room. Wiggle your fingers and toes. Stretch your body softly. Open your eyes slowly. Carry this sense of groundedness and flexibility with you through the rest of your day, knowing that courage and calm live within your breath and your body. We will explore a central teaching in Zen and Buddhist philosophy, the practice of non-attachment to outcomes. This wisdom holds a powerful key to releasing fear, reducing suffering, and cultivating a calm and courageous heart. By letting go of our rigid expectations about how things should be, we open the door to greater freedom, acceptance, and peace. Understanding attachment and its role in fear. To begin, let's reflect on what attachment means in this context. Attachment refers to the mental clinging, grasping, or fixating on specific results, desires, or expectations. It's the mind's habit of creating fixed ideas about how things must unfold, whether in relationships, work, health, or life circumstances, feeling threatened or anxious when reality doesn't match those ideas. Attachment is a natural human tendency. Our minds seek certainty and control because uncertainty often triggers fear. But the truth is, the future is inherently uncertain, and outcomes are beyond our full control. When we attach tightly to certain outcomes, we set ourselves up for disappointment, stress, and fear. Imagine planting a seed and desperately clinging to the hope that it must bloom into a rose. If a different flower blooms instead, or the seed doesn't sprout at all, that clinging leads to frustration and suffering. But if you release the need to control exactly what the seed must become, you can appreciate whatever arises with openness. The Zen view on outcomes and impermanence. Zen teaches that all things are impermanent, anicca, constantly changing, flowing, and unfolding beyond our grasp, because outcomes are part of this ever-shifting reality. Clinging to any fixed result is like trying to hold water in your hands. It slips away no matter how tightly you grasp. This impermanence invites us to practice non-attachment, which doesn't mean indifference or passivity. Instead, it means fully engaging with life and our efforts, while simultaneously releasing the need to control or cling to specific results. In Zen, this is often expressed through the concept of letting go or non-grasping apratikata. It's a practice of allowing life to unfold as it will, responding to what arises with clarity and calmness rather than resistance or grasping. How attachment fuels fear. Fear often arises when we project into the future, imagining worst-case scenarios, or obsessing over what-ifs. Our attachment to preferred outcomes creates anxiety over the possibility of loss, failure, or disappointment. For example, fear of failure is tightly linked to attachment to success. Fear of rejection stems from attachment to acceptance or approval. The mind's fixation on these outcomes creates a constant undercurrent of worry and tension. By loosening the grip on these attachments, we weaken fear's hold. We begin to see that even if outcomes aren't as we desire, we can still find peace within ourselves. Letting go of control, an essential part of non-attachment, is recognizing what is within our control and what is not. While we have influence over our actions, attitudes, and effort, we cannot control external events or others' responses. This understanding frees us from exhausting struggles to control every detail and outcome. Instead, we direct energy toward what we can do, our intentions, choices, and presence, and release the rest. For instance, you might prepare diligently for a presentation, yet the audience's reaction is out of your hands. Accepting this opens you to focus fully on your preparation and delivery without the paralyzing fear of external judgment. The middle way, engagement without clinging. Zen teaches the middle way, not swinging to extremes of grasping or detachment. Non-attachment is not about suppressing desires or becoming numb. It's about engaging fully and lovingly with the present moment and your intentions while releasing rigid clinging to fixed results. This delicate balance allows you to move through life with presence and courage. You do your best while accepting Whatever unfolds with equanimity, consider the metaphor of a dancer. The dancer performs with full commitment but remains flexible and responsive to the music and partner. The dance flows, not forced or stuck in rigid patterns. This is the essence of non-attachment. Practical steps to cultivate non-attachment, though. Can we begin cultivating this vital quality? Notice your attachments. Start by bringing mindful awareness to your desires and expectations. What outcomes do you feel you must have? What fears arise when you imagine losing control of those outcomes? Question your fixed ideas. Ask yourself, is it possible that life may unfold differently but still be okay? Can I be present and resourceful no matter what happens? Practice letting go in small moments. Begin with everyday situations. For example, let go of the need for a perfect outcome in a minor task. Notice the relief that arises when you release control. Shift focus to effort, not results. Concentrate on your intentions and actions rather than the results. Celebrate your dedication and presence, regardless of the outcome. Embrace impermanence. Reflect regularly on the ever-changing nature of life. This helps loosen attachment and cultivates acceptance. A Zen story illustrating non-attachment. Me share a story that beautifully illustrates this teaching. Once a student approached a Zen master, anxious about an upcoming exam that would determine his future. He said, "Master, I am terrified of failing. I want to succeed so badly that I can't stop thinking about it." The master smiled gently and replied, "Tell me, do you have control over the outcome?" The student answered, "No, I can only prepare." The master said, "Then prepare well, but do not cling to the result. Whether you pass or fail, your worth remains. The path is in your effort, not in the outcome." The student took this to heart. He studied diligently, but released his fear of passing or failing. When the day came, he was calm and focused, regardless of the result. He was free from the suffering caused by attachment. Experiencing non-attachment in daily life and attachment can be subtle and challenging. It requires ongoing mindfulness and practice. In your daily life, you may notice moments where you feel anxious, stressed, or fearful, often tied to expectations. Use these moments as opportunities to pause, breathe, and gently remind yourself, I cannot control everything. I will do my best and accept whatever comes. Over time, this simple shift reduces fear's grip and invites a deeper calm and confidence. Reflection. What are you holding on to? Take a moment now, either mentally or in a journal, to reflect on your attachments. What are the outcomes, hopes, or fears you cling to most tightly? How do these attachments create stress or fear in your life? Consider how your life might be different if you loosened your grip, if you could let go of fixed expectations. What peace or freedom might arise? Meditation. Cultivating non-attachment. Let's conclude this teaching with a brief meditation to begin cultivating non-attachment. Close your eyes or soften your gaze. Take a deep breath in and slowly exhale. Bring your awareness to a situation in your life where you feel attached to a specific outcome. Notice the sensations this attachment creates in your body: tightness, tension, anxiety, or restlessness. Now, imagine gently loosening your grip on this outcome. Visualize your fingers releasing their hold. Feel the tension melt away. Breathe in calm. Breathe out resistance. Repeat silently to yourself, I release my need to control. I trust life's unfolding. I am safe. Allow this intention to settle deeply in your heart. Remember, non-attachment is not a destination, but a continuous practice. It's the gentle art of balancing effort with surrender, courage with acceptance. By letting go of fixed outcomes, you free yourself from fear's grasp and open to life's natural flow. Carry this teaching with you as we move forward on this journey toward courage and calm. This contemplative segment, where we explore a timeless teaching from Zen Buddhism, often called the story of the empty cup. This story captures the essence of what Zen calls the beginner's minded state of openness, curiosity, and humility that allows us to receive wisdom and experience life freshly, free from the clutter of assumptions and fixed ideas. The story of the empty cup. There once was a scholar, learned and accomplished, who had traveled great distances to study under a revered Zen master. The scholar was confident in his knowledge and eager to prove his understanding. Upon arrival, he bowed respectfully to the master and asked to be taught. The master invited the scholar to sit and began to pour tea into a cup. The tea filled the cup to the brim end, yet the master kept pouring. The tea spilled onto the floor. The scholar, startled and annoyed, exclaimed, "Master, the cup is full. No more tea will fit." The master looked at the scholar with gentle eyes and replied, "Like this cup, your mind is full of your own opinions and ideas. How can I teach you unless you first empty your cup?" Reflection on the story. This simple but profound story reveals a deep truth about learning, growth, and the way the mind works. Our minds are often so cluttered with preconceptions, judgments, and fixed beliefs that we close ourselves off to new understanding and fresh experience. The scholar, despite his intelligence, could not receive the master's teaching because his mind was full. His eagerness to assert his knowledge created a mental block. The overflowing tea symbolizes how a mind already full cannot take in anything new without first letting go of what it holds on to. Beginner's mind openness to the unknown. The teaching of the beginner's mind in Japanese Shoshin invites us to approach life with the openness and wonder of a beginner, even if we are experienced or knowledgeable. It means recognizing that no matter how much we think we know, there is always more to learn, more to experience, and more to understand. A beginner's mind is free from the heavy baggage of assumptions. It is curious rather than judgmental. It embraces not knowing as a doorway to discovery rather than a source of fear. How overthinking and preconceptions close the mind often. Our minds become full in other ways beyond intellectual knowledge. We may fill our minds with worries about the future, regrets about the past, fears, and self-criticisms. These mental habits clutter our awareness and obscure the present moment. When we approach new experiences with preconceived notions about what should happen or what others should be like, we create expectations that can lead to disappointment, frustration, and inner tension. The empty cup story encourages us to empty these mental containers, to set aside rigid ideas, fixed beliefs, and judgments that limit our openness. Beginner's mind as a path to peace. The beginner's mind is not only a tool for learning, but also a path to mental peace. When the mind relaxes its need to control or predict, it can rest more deeply in the present moment. A mind free from preconceptions is less burdened by the noise of overthinking and anxiety. It can observe, experience more clearly, and respond with greater wisdom and calm. Cultivating beginner's mind in daily life. How can we bring this teaching into our own lives? Here are some practical reflections and practices. Notice your assumptions. Pay attention to moments when you feel resistant, defensive, or judgmental. Ask, what am I assuming here? What fixed ideas am I holding on to? Practice curiosity. Approach everyday experiences as if seeing them for the first time. Whether it's a conversation, a meal, or a walk outside, invite fresh interest and openness. Let go of needing to be right. Recognize that clinging to being right or holding on to your current beliefs too tightly can close off learning and connection. Embrace not knowing. Make space for uncertainty and mystery. See them as opportunities rather than threats. Return to beginner's mind regularly. The practice is ongoing, not a one-time achievement. Check in with yourself daily to invite openness and release mental clutter. Meditation practice. Embracing the empty couplets. Now enter a meditation practice inspired by the empty cup teaching to begin opening the mind to greater openness and peace. Find a comfortable seated posture. Close your eyes gently or soften your gaze. Take a few deep breaths, feeling the natural rise and fall of your belly. Allow your body to relax with each exhale. Bring your attention to your mind. Notice any thoughts, judgments, or beliefs present. Without trying to push anything away, simply observe what is there. Imagine your mind as a cup perhaps full, perhaps cluttered with mental contents. Visualize gently emptying this cup. One by one, release the thoughts, expectations, and judgments that crowd your awareness. Notice how the cup grows lighter, emptier, ready to receive new experiences. Invite a sense of curiosity, openness, and willingness to be present without preconceived notions. Breathe into this openness. Let the mind rest in this fresh, empty space. When your mind wanders, gently bring it back to the sensation of openness, like a clear cup waiting to be filled. Rest here for several minutes, cultivating the beginner's mind. When you feel ready, slowly bring your attention back to your breath, your body, and the room around you. The beginner's mind and overcoming fear. The beginner's mind is also a powerful ally in facing fear. Fear often arises from mental projections, stories, and judgments about what might happen. By emptying the mind of these preconceived narratives, we begin to see fear as it is a temporary experience, not an unchangeable truth. When we approach fear with beginner's mind, we open to its presence with curiosity rather than resistance. This softening reduces fear's intensity and creates space for courage and calm. Applying the empty cup. Teaching in difficult moments, in challenging situations, whether fear, anger, or anxiety arise, remind yourself of the empty cup teaching. Pause and take a deep breath. Notice what mental contents are filling your cup. What stories, judgments, or fears are present. Consciously choose to release these contents, even if only temporarily. Allow space for new perspectives, fresh responses, and calm awareness to emerge. This practice helps break the cycle of reactive thinking and emotional overwhelm. The beginner's mind and lifelong learnings invites us to be perpetual students of life. No matter how much wisdom we accumulate, The path always invites a beginner's heart. This humility fosters resilience, flexibility, and deep joy. We become like children, seeing the world unalways, discovering, always present. As this segment draws to a close, take a moment to reflect. What mental cup might you be holding that is full and resistant? How can you practice emptying this cup to invite fresh wisdom and peace? Set a gentle intention to carry this beginner's mind into your day, embracing openness and curiosity. The empty cup is more than a story, it's an invitation to freedom from mental clutter and fear, and a path toward courage, clarity, and calm. Are you ready to continue on this journey? Our next segment will deepen our practice with further meditations and teachings. Until then, rest in the openness of your empty cup, designed to help you open your mind gently and courageously toward the experience of fear. Often, fear feels overwhelming or something to avoid, but here we will explore a different approach, welcoming fear with curiosity and openness, allowing it to teach us and eventually ease. Settling in, begin by finding a comfortable and stable posture. You may sit on a cushion, chair, or lie down, whatever feels most supportive for you at this moment. Allow your eyes to close softly or maintain a gentle gaze, whichever feels natural. Bring your awareness to the breath. Notice the natural rhythm of your inhales and exhales. There is no need to change anything, simply observe the breath as it flows in and out. Take a few slow, deep breaths. Inhale gently through your nose, feeling your belly rise. Exhale fully through your mouth or nose. Noticing the body soften, let each breath help you settle more deeply into this present moment. Grounding your mind and body, setting an intention, set a quiet intention for this meditation. Perhaps it is to meet fear with openness, to cultivate courage, or simply to observe your experience without judgment. Repeat silently or aloud to yourself, I open my mind with kindness and curiosity. Allow this intention to guide your practice. Becoming aware of Furno, gently bring to mind an experience of fear you have recently encountered or that feels present in your life. This may be a specific fear of change, loss, failure, or a more general feeling of unease. Don't force yourself to feel fear, but allow whatever arises naturally to come into your awareness. If fear feels distant, you can simply imagine it as a presence in the mind or body, like a shadow or cloud. Observe how fear feels without trying to change it. Notice its qualities. Is it sharp or dull, heavy or light, warm or cold? Does it have a shape or color? Allow yourself to witness the sensation with gentle attention. Visualizing, opening the mind. Imagine now that your mind is like a vast open sky. Sometimes clouds gather. These are your thoughts, fears, and emotions. At other times, the sky is clear and expansive. Picture the fear you just noticed as a cloud in this vast sky. See this cloud without resistance. There is no need to push it away or hold onto it. As you watch, the cloud begins to move, floating gently across the wide openness. Imagine your mind as this spacious sky, vast enough to hold the cloud of fear without being overwhelmed. You are not the fear. You are the sky in which fear appears and disappears. Breathing into openness, return your attention to your breath with each inhale. Imagine you are drawing fresh, clear air into your mind a breeze that expands the space within. With each exhale, imagine you are releasing tension, constriction, and resistance. Breathe in openness. Breathe out resistance. Feel your mind expanding like the sky, welcoming all experiences. Allow curiosity to arise naturally. Notice the texture of the fear cloud, its edges, its movements. Approach this cloud with kindness and interest, as if meeting an old friend with new stories. Inviting curiosity. Now gently ask yourself, what does this fear want me to know? Where in my body do I feel this fear most strongly? What sensations, images, or memories arise with this feeling? Remember, you are an observer, not a judge. You are safe to explore. Curiosity softens fear's grip. Each question opens a door to understanding. Allow any answers to come slowly, without force. If the mind wanders, gently return to your breath and the image of the sky holding the cloud dot. Opening the heart, visualize a warm light beginning to glow in the center of your chest, the area of your heart. With each breath, imagine this light growing brighter, radiating warmth and compassion throughout your body. Let this compassionate light touch the fear. Send kindness inward, as if comforting a scared child. Repeat silently, may I be safe. May I be free from suffering. May I be held with kindness. Feel this loving presence surrounding and permeating the fear. Notice how fear shifts in response, perhaps softening, becoming lighter or less urgent. Welcoming the full experience, recognize that fear is a part of your whole experience, just like joy.com or curiosity. It does not need to be fixed or pushed away. Allow your mind to be open enough to hold the fullness of what arises. Let your breath be the steady anchor. Feel the spaciousness of your mind. Open and welcoming, feel the heart's warmth. Steady and kind, be present with fear as a teacher rather than an enemy. Deepening presence, stay with this experience for several moments. If thoughts come, notice them as passing clouds. If fear intensifies, breathe into it with compassion. If calm arises, rest in that calm. There is no right or wrong way to be here. Simply open, observe, and breathe. Integration slowly. Begin to widen your awareness beyond fear to include the whole body and mind. Feel the ground beneath you, the air around you. Know that this openness and courage you have cultivated is available at any time. Whenever fear arises in your life, you can return to this spacious mind and warm heart. Your fingers and toes stretch softly if you wish. When you are ready, open your eyes or lift your gaze. Take a moment to notice how you feel. Remember the power of opening your mind with kindness and curiosity. Carry this quality with you as you continue your day. Thank you for practicing this meditation. May your courage and calm deepen with each breath. In this segment, we will explore a profound teaching that holds the potential to transform how you relate to fear. This teaching is about compassion not only for others, but also for yourself, and importantly, for the fear itself. Fear is a universal experience. It is as natural as breathing and as old as life itself. Yet, so often, our response to fear is shaped by resistance, rejection, or even self-judgment. What if, instead, we could meet fear with compassion? What if kindness could be the bridge that transforms fear from an enemy into a teacher? Let us begin by reflecting on what compassion means in the Buddhist tradition and how it applies specifically to fear. What is compassion? In Buddhism, compassion, karuna, is more than just feeling sorry for someone. It is an active, heartfelt response to the suffering of others and of ourselves. Compassion involves recognizing suffering, feeling empathy, and cultivating the wish and the intention to alleviate that suffering. Compassion arises from awareness. When we truly see pain, we naturally respond with kindness. It is a courageous quality because it opens the heart rather than closing it off. Compassion requires presence, patience, and a gentle strength. Now, turn this compassionate gaze inward. Often, we are harsh critics of our own experience, especially when it comes to fear. We may feel embarrassed, weak, or ashamed for being afraid. This self-judgment adds layers of suffering on top of the original fear. Zen teaches us to soften this harshness by cultivating compassion toward ourselves. This self-compassion is not indulgent or weak. Rather, it is a wise and necessary kindness that supports healing and growth. The common experience of fear and self-judgment is often accompanied by inner narrative stories we tell ourselves about being inadequate, vulnerable, or powerless. These stories can intensify fear and create a sense of isolation. For example, you might think, "I shouldn't feel this way. I must be strong." Or, "If I show fear, others will judge me." These thoughts fuel a cycle of resistance and repression. But fear, like any emotion, is not a flaw or failure. It is a natural response to perceived danger or uncertainty. It alerts us to protect ourselves and adapt. What makes fear painful is not its presence, but our struggle against it. This struggle manifests in many ways: pushing fear away, distracting ourselves, or criticizing ourselves for feeling it. This inner resistance can deepen the pain and keep fear alive longer than necessary. Meeting fear with kindness, compassion invites a different approach. Instead of pushing fear away or condemning ourselves for having it, we turn toward fear with kindness. Imagine meeting fear as you would a frightened child or a dear friend in pain. What does this kind, understanding presence feel like? How does it soften the experience? In this space of compassion, fear can relax, become less threatening, and even reveal its messages or gifts. Compassion as a healing force. Compassion has a powerful healing effect. When we treat ourselves kindly, it helps soothe the nervous system, reducing stress and anxiety. Scientific research supports this. Self-compassion practices are shown to decrease cortisol, stress hormone, and increase feelings of safety and well-being. Compassion interrupts the cycle of fear and resistance. It creates a space where fear can be felt fully and then gently released through compassionate presence. Fear becomes an experience we can observe without being overwhelmed. Compassion for fear itself. Interestingly, Zen teachings encourage not just compassion for ourselves, but also for the fear itself. Fear is not an enemy to fight, but a living experience to understand in many ways. Fear is also vulnerable. It seeks protection, safety, and survival. Compassion for fear means recognizing its role, acknowledging its presence without hostility, and allowing it to be. This practice softens the internal conflict and shifts the dynamic from battle to dialogue. The practice of compassion for fear How do we cultivate compassion for fear? The first step is awareness, noticing fear when it arises, without judgment, then gently inviting kindness inward. This can be through soothing words, breath, or imagery. You might say silently to yourself, "I see you, fear. You are part of me. It's okay to feel afraid. I am here with you. I offer you kindness and patience." Another powerful way is to visualize enveloping the fearful parts of yourself in warm, healing light. Imagine this light as the gentle presence of compassion, embracing and comforting. The role of mindfulness supports compassion by keeping us grounded in the present moment. When fear arises, mindfulness allows us to witness it clearly without getting swept away. With mindful attention, we notice fears, physical sensations, thoughts, and urges. We do not identify with fear, nor do we suppress it. This mindful witnessing creates a safe space for compassion to arise naturally. Compassion and courage are deeply connected. It takes courage to open the heart to fear rather than close it down. Compassion provides the strength to be present with fear without running or resisting. This courageous compassion empowers us to face uncertainty with calm and resilience. Compassion in action. As you cultivate compassion for fear, notice how it influences your actions. You may find yourself responding to challenges with more patience and gentleness. Fear loses its grip and no longer drives reactive behaviors. Instead, you make choices from a place of balance and care. Invitation to practice now. Take a moment to bring to mind a recent moment of fear. Recall how you responded. What if you could respond differently with kindness instead of judgment? Invite a compassionate presence into that memory. Feel your heart soften toward yourself in that moment. Allow compassion to wash over the fear. Reflection as you continue your day or meditation practice. Remember, fear is a visitor, not a permanent resident. You have the power to welcome it with compassion and courage. This practice is a journey, not a quick fix. With patience, your relationship with fear can transform. You can learn to move through fear with grace and strength. Closing thought: compassion for fear is a radical act of self-love. It breaks down barriers and opens the door to healing. In the words of the Zen Master Thich Nhat Hanh, compassion is a verb. It calls us to action, a gentle, loving action toward ourselves. May this compassion grow in you and guide you through fears, challenges. Thank you for joining this teaching. When you are ready, gently bring your attention back to your breath, feeling the steady presence that accompanies you always. We step into an ancient story, one that reveals the profound power of inner stillness and its connection to true courage. This is the story of the warrior who found his greatest strength not in weapons or battle tactics, but in the calm within. The story of the warrior's calm. Long ago, in a distant land, there lived a renowned warrior named Kenji, known throughout the realm for his bravery and skill. Kenji had fought many battles and faced countless enemies. Yet, despite his fearsome reputation, there was a secret to his courage that few understood. Kenji's strength did not come from aggression or force, but from a deep stillness that lived within him, a calmness that remained unshaken even in the face of danger. One day, a neighboring kingdom declared war. The two armies met on a vast plain, weapons gleaming under the sun. The tension was thick, and the soldiers' hearts raced with fear and anticipation. Kenji, leading his troops, sat quietly on his horse before the battle commenced. His eyes were closed, his breath slow and steady, while others sharpened swords and raised their voices in battle cries. Kenji cultivated silence within. His generals and soldiers watched with curiosity and some with concern. "How can calmness help us now? We must fight," they urged. But Kenji knew that the heart of true courage lay not in turmoil, but in peace. The battle begins as the armies clashed. Kenji's calm was a beacon amid chaos. His movements were precise and confident, his mind clear and undistracted, while others reacted impulsively to every strike or shout. Kenji observed with a steady gaze. He responded to danger with fluid grace rather than frantic force. His calm allowed him to see openings others missed, to anticipate moves rather than merely react. The battle raged fiercely, yet Kenji's inner stillness kept him centered. His soldiers, inspired by his composure, began to mirror his calm energy. The battlefield's frenzy shifted subtly, and a sense of order emerged amid the chaos. Victory through stillness sat the battle's end. Kenji's side was victorious, not just because of skill or numbers, but because their courage was rooted in unshakable calm. After the battle, a young soldier approached Kenji and asked, "Master, how did you remain so calm when fear and chaos surrounded us?" Kenji smiled gently and replied, "True courage comes from within. When your mind is still, fear loses its power. Calmness is the foundation of bravery." Reflecting on the warrior's calm, this story holds deep wisdom for all who face fear and uncertainty. Like Kenji, we often believe courage means pushing through fear with force or distraction. Yet, Zen teaches a different path: courage that arises from stillness and presence. When the mind is restless, fear can feel overwhelming, like waves crashing over a rocky shore. But when the mind finds calm, fear becomes a manageable visitor that passes rather than a storm that overwhelms. Inner stillness as a source of courage. Inner stillness is not the absence of feeling or awareness. It is a quality of mind that rests deeply, clear and unshaken. This stillness is a natural state accessible through practice, such as meditation, mindful breathing, and grounding attention. Like Kenji's steady breath before battle, our own calm breath anchors us in the present moment. This presence allows us to meet fear with clarity rather than confusion. Stillness opens space for wise action rather than reactive impulse. The science behind courage, modern neuroscience, supports what ancient Zen masters understood intuitively. When we cultivate calm through mindfulness, our brain's stress response diminishes. The amygdala of brain's fear center becomes less reactive. The prefrontal cortex, responsible for reasoning and decision-making, strengthens. This balance creates a state of calm vigilance, where we can face challenges with alertness and composure, cultivating your own warriors. You may wonder, how can I find this stillness amidst my own battles, be they external challenges or inner fears? The path begins simply. Find moments to breathe deeply, anchoring your awareness to the present. Practice observing your thoughts and emotions without being swept away. Cultivate patience with yourself as you learn to return to calm repeatedly. Allow stillness to grow like a silent root beneath the surface of your busyness. Meditation for cultivating. inner stillness. Let's take a moment now to practice a meditation inspired by the warrior's calm. Find a comfortable posture, sitting or lying down. Close your eyes if you feel safe to do so. Begin by bringing attention to your breath. Notice the gentle rise and fall of your belly or chest. Feel the air as it enters and leaves your nostrils. Allow your breath to become slow and steady, natural and easy as you breathe. Imagine a still lake at dawn, its surface smooth and undisturbed. Visualize your mind as this lake, clear and calm. If thoughts arise, see them as leaves floating on the water, passing by without disturbing the stillness. Return your focus gently to your breath and the calm lake within, embracing courage through stillness. As this calmness deepens, reflect on the connection between this inner peace and your courage. Know that courage is not the absence of fear, but the ability to be present with fear. Stillness does not mean inaction, but a poised readiness, like Kenji on the battlefield. Your calm allows you to respond with clarity and strength. Applying the warrior's calm in daily life, consider how you can bring this quality of calm courage into your daily experiences. Perhaps before a challenging conversation, take a few breaths to steady yourself. When anxiety arises, remind yourself of the still lake within. In moments of uncertainty, practice being present rather than rushing to control. Recognize that true strength grows from this grounded calm. The story of the warrior's calm is an invitation to explore the power of stillness as the root of courage, to recognize that fear need not overwhelm you when met with calm presence, and to discover that your own inner stillness is a source of unshakable strength. Thank you for joining this teaching. When you are ready, gently open your eyes, carrying this calm courage with you into the rest of your day. A quiet journey inward to find the still point within you, a calm center that remains steady even when fear arises. Begin by settling into a comfortable posture. You may choose to sit on a chair with feet flat on the ground or cross-legged on a cushion. Alternatively, lying down is also fine. Allow your body to feel supported by the surface beneath you. Close your eyes if it feels safe and comfortable. If not, soften your gaze, letting your eyes rest gently on a spot in front of you. Bring your attention to your breath. Notice its natural rhythm without trying to change it. Simply observe the in-breath and the out-breath. Feel the breath flowing smoothly in and out as you breathe. Feel your body beginning to relax, settling deeper into this moment. Allow any tension in your muscles to melt away with each exhale. Now, gently turn your attention to your inner landscape. You might notice thoughts, feelings, sensations arising. Among these, perhaps you sense fear, the uneasy, tight, or restless feeling that may sometimes visit. Know that fear is a natural response, a visitor in the mind. You do not need to push it away or fix it. Instead, simply notice fear's presence. Where do you feel it in your body? Is it a tightness in the chest, a flutter in the stomach, a heaviness in the shoulders? Observe these sensations with gentle curiosity. Do not judge or resist. Allow them to be exactly as they are. Imagine now that within you, behind the fluctuations of fear and thought, there is a still point, a calm center that is always present beneath the surface noise. This still point is like a quiet lake at dawn, its surface smooth, undisturbed, reflecting the sky. Even if wind blows across the lake, or ripples disturb it, the stillness remains deep below. In the same way, your true nature includes this calm presence. It is always here, waiting to be found. Bring your awareness to this still point within. If your mind feels restless, like the waves on the lake, do not worry. Gently bring your attention back to this calm center. Use your breath as an anchor. Feel the breath moving in and out, steady and reliable. With each inhale, imagine drawing in calmness, peace, and courage. With each exhale, release tension, fear, and uncertainty. As you breathe, silently repeat to yourself, I am here, I am present, I am calm. Let these words echo softly in your mind. Each repetition deepens your connection to the still point. Feel the calmness expand, filling your entire being. Notice how this stillness supports you, even as fear lingers around it. It does not deny fear. Rather, it holds fear with kindness and steadiness. If your mind wanders, perhaps imagining future worries or replaying past fears, notice this without frustration. Acknowledge the wandering, then gently return to the breath and the still point. Remember that this practice is not about perfection, but about returning again and again. Each return strengthens your calm presence. Each moment of stillness builds your courage. Visualize now a soft, warm light glowing at the center of your chest. Heart center. This light is gentle yet powerful. It radiates compassion, safety, and strength. Allow this light to grow brighter with each breath. Feel its warmth, soothing the places where fear has made you tight or uneasy. Feel it softening resistance and inviting acceptance. As the light of calm expands within, imagine it spreading outward through your body, down your arms to your hands, through your legs to your feet, filling your entire body with peaceful energy. This light anchors you deeply in the present moment, creating a sanctuary of calm inside. Now, bring to mind a situation where fear tends to arise in your life. It could be a specific event, a recurring worry, or a subtle unease. As you hold this in awareness, do not try to solve or push it away. Instead, observe it from the perspective of the still point. See fear as a wave on the ocean, not the ocean itself. Know that while fear arises and falls, your calm center remains. Breathe into the fear, allowing it to exist without overwhelming you. Repeat quietly to yourself, fear is here, but I am calm. I feel fear, but I am steady. I acknowledge my fear, and I hold space for it with kindness. Notice how the feeling of fear shifts when met with this calm presence. You may sense tension loosening, heart rate slowing, or breath deepening. This is the power of the still point and anchor that grounds courage. Allow yourself now to rest fully in this stillness. There is nowhere you need to go, nothing you need to do. Simply be here, breathing, aware, calm. If you notice thoughts returning, such as judgments about fear or worries about the future, acknowledge them as passing clouds. Gently guide your attention back to the breath and the still point. You are practicing the art of returning to calmness and courage again and again. Reflect for a moment on the paradox of courage. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the presence of calm in the face of fear. True bravery blooms when we meet fear not with resistance, but with gentle awareness. The still point within is your wellspring of such courage. When you feel ready, begin to deepen your breath. Notice the rise and fall of your chest and belly. Bring gentle movement to your fingers and toes. Perhaps stretch your arms or shoulders softly when you open your eyes. Carry with you the memory of this still point. Know that it is always accessible. No matter what challenges arise, you can return anytime through breath, awareness, and kindness to this calm center. Take a final deep breath together in courage. Exhale tension. Thank yourself for this time of tending your inner calm. This concludes our meditation on finding the still point within. May your courage grow steadily, anchored in calm presence. Thank you for sharing this moment of reflection, where we turn our attention to fear not as an enemy to be avoided or suppressed, but as a wise teacher guiding us toward deeper understanding and growth. In many traditions, fear is often seen as something negative, a feeling to be resisted, hidden, or conquered. Yet, within the wisdom of Zen Buddhism, fear holds a subtle and profound place. It is not merely an obstacle, but a signal, an opportunity for awakening. Fear points to areas in our lives where attachment, misunderstanding, or confusion reside, inviting us to meet these challenges with open eyes and an open heart. Fear, at its core, is a natural and universal human experience. It is deeply wired into our nervous system as a survival mechanism. It alerts us to potential danger, helping us respond swiftly to threats. This biological function has been vital through the ages. Fear has saved countless lives. However, in modern life, fear often arises less from immediate physical threats and more from uncertainty, change, loss, or the unknown. When unchecked, it can grow beyond its useful role, entangling the mind in cycles of worry, avoidance, and suffering. Zen teachings offer a way to transform our relationship with fear, allowing it to serve not as a source of paralysis or pain, but as a pathway to wisdom and freedom. Fear as a signet. First, consider fear as a signaling indicator of where your attention is most needed. When you feel fear, it is as though your inner compass is pointing you toward something important, something that requires awareness. Is fear arising because you are stepping beyond your comfort zone? Perhaps it is a sign that growth is imminent. Does fear surface in response to a perceived threat to your identity or sense of control? This can reveal areas where attachment creates vulnerability. Does fear emerge when facing uncertainty, revealing the mind's tendency to cling to security and predictability? Rather than pushing fear away or trying to fix it immediately, Zen invites you to pause and listen. Sit with the feeling, not as a foe, but as a messenger bearing valuable insight. The nature of fears and Buddhism teaches that all phenomena, including fear, are impermanent, anicca, interconnected, interdependent, and without inherent self-anatta. Fear is a conditioned response, arising dependent on causes and conditions, thoughts, sensations, memories, and perceptions. Because it is transient and lacks fixed essence, fear can be observed and understood rather than becoming a defining identity. This understanding invites us to see fear as a passing cloud in the vast sky of awareness. While the cloud may obscure the sun temporarily, it cannot extinguish the sun's light. Similarly, fear may arise and obscure clarity temporarily, but it does not define the true nature of your mind. Meeting fear with mindfulness, central to Zen practice, is mindfulness, a non-judgmental, present moment awareness. When fear arises, rather than reacting with aversion or suppression, Zen encourages us to meet it with mindfulness. This means observing fear as it is, its sensations, thoughts, and emotional tone, without adding layers of story or resistance. Notice where fear lives in the body. Is it tightness in the chest, a flutter in the belly, a constriction in the throat? Allow fear to be present without pushing it away or clinging to it. This mindful witnessing gradually transforms fear from a reactive storm into a natural phenomenon that can be observed, understood, and ultimately transcended. Fear as a doorway to courage. Paradoxically, fear is inseparable from courage. Zen masters often remind us that courage does not mean the absence of fear, but the ability to act with fear present. True courage arises when we acknowledge fear honestly and move forward regardless. Grounded in presence. When we transform fear from something to flee from into a doorway we choose to walk through, we grow stronger, wiser, and freer. Each time we face fear with mindfulness, we open a new space for courage to arise naturally. Learning from fear. Fear is a profound teacher because it reveals what matters deeply to us. It exposes our attachments, our vulnerabilities, and our habitual patterns of thought. When you feel fear, consider these questions. What am I afraid of losing or facing? What stories am I telling myself about this fear? How is fear shaping my perception of reality? Can I soften my relationship with this fear and treat it with kindness? By asking such questions with genuine curiosity, fear becomes a doorway into self-awareness and healing. Zen stories of fear as teacher throughout Zen history. Many stories illustrate how masters met fear not with avoidance, but with embrace, transforming it into wisdom. For example, there is the story of the monk who faced a terrifying storm alone on a mountain. Rather than resisting the storm, he sat, calmly observing its power without fear. In that stillness, he discovered the impermanence of the storm and the stability of his own awareness beneath the turbulence. This story reminds us that fear, like the storm, can rage fiercely but will pass. The stillness we cultivate within is unshaken by external conditions, transforming fear through compassion. Other aspect of Zen wisdom involves meeting fear with compassion. Compassion toward oneself for feeling fear, and compassion toward others who experience it. Fear often isolates us, making us feel alone or flawed. Compassion dissolves this isolation, reminding us of our shared humanity by bringing warmth and kindness to fear. We soften its grip and create the conditions for healing. Compassion opens the heart, allowing courage and wisdom to flourish. Practical steps to learn from fear. Zen practice offers practical ways to learn from fear. Pause and observe when fear arises. Stop and bring mindful attention to it. Label the fear. Gently name the emotion. Fear is present to create space between you and the feeling. Explore the body. Notice where fear lives in your body. Breathe into those areas with softness. Question the story. Examine the mental narrative fueling fear. Is it accurate? Is it useful? Invite compassion. Offer yourself kindness for feeling fear. Recognize it as part of being human. Allow the process. Trust that fear will arise and pass in its own time without needing to control it. Act with courage when ready. Move forward into what you fear with mindful presence. The wisdom of impermanence Zen reminds us repeatedly that nothing lasts forever, including fear. Impermanence is a foundational teaching. When we deeply grasp we realize fear cannot hold us hostage indefinitely. This insight frees us from entanglement and allows fear to be a temporary visitor, not a permanent resident. With this understanding, fear becomes a teacher who shows us the fleeting nature of all things, inviting us to live fully in the present moment. Fear and the illusion of control. Fear often arises from the illusion that we can or must control life's outcomes. We resist change and uncertainty, hoping to keep things stable and predictable. Zen teaches that control is limited, and that true peace comes from surrendering to the flow of life. When we let go of the need to control, fear loses its power. We discover that within the unpredictability of life, there is a deeper order and harmony accessible through presence. Cultivating trust. Transforming fear into wisdom requires cultivating trust in oneself, trust in the process of life, trust in the unfolding moment. We build confidence in our capacity to be with whatever arises. This trust becomes a source of profound courage. Conclusion: fear as the path in Zen. Fear is not an obstacle, but part of the path itself. By approaching fear with mindfulness, compassion, and courage, we learn about ourselves and life more deeply. Fear becomes a guide, leading us toward freedom and wisdom. May you welcome fear as your teacher, learning its lessons with openness and grace. Imagine, for a moment, a great mountain standing tall and unmoving amidst the vast landscape. This mountain has stood for centuries, weathering the passage of time and the ever-changing elements. It has witnessed countless sunrises and sunsets, storms and calms, seasons of abundance and scarcity. One day, a fierce storm arises. The winds howl through the valleys, rain lashes the rocky slopes, and thunder roars across the sky. Lightning strikes with sudden flashes, illuminating the mountain's rugged face. The storm rages with intensity, wild and untamed, shaking the trees that cling to the mountain's sides and flooding the streams that course down its slopes. Yet, through all the fury and chaos, the mountain remains steadfast. It does not try to fight the storm, nor does it attempt to run from it. It simply stands with calm endurance, embracing whatever weather comes its way. This mountain is a powerful metaphor for how we might relate to fear and turmoil in our own minds. Fear, much like a storm, can rise suddenly and sweep through us with overwhelming force. It can flood our thoughts with worry, shake our sense of security, and darken the sky of our peace. But, like the mountain, we can learn to endure fear with calm presence, knowing it too shall pass. The mountain's endurance, a reflection on stability. The mountain's endurance is not resistance born from hardness or stubbornness. Instead, it is a quiet stability grounded in its very nature. Its roots run deep into the earth, anchoring it through whatever storms arise. This grounding is vital. In our human experience, cultivating such roots means developing a deep connection to our own true nature, a place within that is steady, aware, and unshaken by passing emotions. When fear rises like a storm, these inner roots remind us that the fear is temporary. It is a weather pattern in the mind, not the mind itself. The mind can hold space for fear without being overwhelmed or swept away. The storm's temporary nature, impermanence of fear. Just as storms in nature are impermanent, so too is fear. The storm may rage for hours or days, but it eventually subsides. The sky is clear, the sun returns, and the landscape breathes again. Fear is no different. Although it may feel overwhelming and eternal in the moment, fear, by its very nature, is transient. Zen teachings emphasize this truth. All conditioned phenomena arise and pass away. Fear arises based on causes and conditions, bodily sensations, thoughts, memories, external circumstances. When these conditions change or dissolve, so does fear. Knowing the impermanence of fear empowers us to face it without panic or despair. We learn to witness the storm without losing sight of the mountain beneath it. The mountain does not resist nor attach. Another profound teaching from the parable is that the mountain does not resist the storm, nor does it cling to any particular state. Resistance to fear often amplifies it. When we push fear away with anger or avoidance, it can grow stronger, like water rushing against a dam that eventually bursts. Similarly, attachment to fear, clinging to it as if it defines us or protects us, and trap us in cycles of anxiety and suffering. The mountain, by contrast, simply is. It accepts the storm as part of its existence. This acceptance is not passive resignation, but an active embracing of reality as it unfolds. Practicing endurance and calm. How can we cultivate the mountain's endurance and calm amidst the storms of fear in our own lives? Zen offers several guiding principles and practices. Grounding through breath. When fear arises, return your attention to the breath. Feel each inhale and exhale as the mountain's roots, connecting you to the present moment and the earth beneath. Body awareness. Notice where fear manifests. Physically, tightness, rapid heartbeat, tension, and breathe into those areas. Let your body soften and anchor you like the mountain's base. Non-resistance. Practice welcoming fear rather than resisting it. Observe it with curiosity and kindness. This gentle acceptance deflates fear's power. Witnessing impermanence. Remind yourself that fear, like a storm, will pass. Watch its changing nature without clinging or aversion. Finding the steady core. Cultivate an inner place of calm awareness, sure mountain that remains stable regardless of external conditions or internal turbulence. The storm's lessons. Growth through adversity. Though storms can be fierce and destructive, they also bring renewal. The rain nourishes the soil. The wind clears away dead leaves. The mountain may be battered, but its endurance strengthens it. In the same way, fear can be a catalyst for growth. When met with mindful presence, fear teaches us about our attachments, triggers, and limiting beliefs. It challenges us to develop courage, compassion, and wisdom. The storm invites transformation. Moments in your life when fear has risen. Facing an uncertain future, a difficult conversation, or a personal challenge. Recall the mountain standing firm through the storm. Invite yourself to be like the mountain, grounded, present, accepting. Breathe deeply into your roots. Observe fear without resistance. Trust in your capacity to endure and to grow through life's inevitable storms. Guided reflection. Take a moment now to visualize yourself as the mountain. Feel your feet planted firmly on the earth. Sense your connection to the ground beneath. Imagine a storm, a surge of fear. Watch the wind and rain swirl around you, Notice the storm's intensity and movement. Feel your calm center holding steady. Know that the storm will pass. Remain present in this peaceful endurance. This parable of the mountain and the storm offers profound insight into the nature of fear and how to transform it. Fear, like the storm, is temporary and ever-changing. By cultivating grounded presence and acceptance, like the mountain, we learn to endure fear without being consumed by it. We discover courage born not from the absence of fear, but from steady calm amidst it. May this teaching support you in meeting your own storms with grace and resilience. The natural flow of change that underlies all life. This practice invites you to soften resistance, to open your heart and mind to the ever-changing nature of experience, including fear, uncertainty, and transition. Through breath and visualization, we will cultivate acceptance and ease in the face of what arises. Find a comfortable posture, whether seated or lying down. Allow your body to settle fully into the support beneath you. Let your hands rest gently in your lap or by your sides. Close your eyes softly or lower your gaze if that feels better for you. Begin by taking a deep, nourishing breath in through your nose, filling your lungs completely. Hold for a moment and then exhale slowly and fully through your mouth or nose, wherever feels natural. Allow your breath to settle into its own natural rhythm, smooth, calm, effortless. As you breathe, begin to feel the sensation of your body supported by the ground, chair, or cushion beneath you. Feel the weight of your body, heavy and grounded. Let this sensation of support remind you that you are safe and held in this present moment. Now, gently bring your attention to your breath, the gentle rise and fall of your abdomen or chest with each inhale and exhale. Let your awareness rest here, as if the breath is a soft wave flowing in and out, steady and continuous. In Zen teachings, impermanence or anicca reminds us that all things are in constant flux. Just as the breath flows without pause, so do moments arise and pass away. Nothing remains fixed or permanent. This truth can be both unsettling and liberating as you continue to breathe. Begin to invite a sense of openness and curiosity about this flow of change. Visualization, the flow of breath and change with your eyes closed and your breath steady. Imagine a gentle stream flowing nearby. See the clear water gliding over smooth stones, moving endlessly onward. Notice how the stream does not cling to any one place or object. It flows freely, adapting effortlessly to the landscape, sometimes rushing quickly, sometimes slowing too. A calm pool as you watch this stream in your mind's eye. Imagine your breath as this water, constantly moving, changing, never holding still. With each inhale, imagine drawing in fresh, clean water from upstream. Feel this water as a source of nourishment, life, and renewal. As you exhale, visualize releasing any tension, resistance, or fear into the flowing current. Carried gently downstream, feel yourself flowing with this stream of breath and change, softening your grip on control or certainty, softening resistance to furrow. Bring to mind any fear, worry, or discomfort you may be holding. It may be a current fear or a more general sense of anxiety about change or the unknown. Rather than pushing this fear away or trying to fight it, gently invite it into your awareness as if it were a visitor arriving at your door. Visualize this fear as a cloud, dark, shifting, and changing shape with every moment. Notice its color, texture, and movement. Rather than resisting or rejecting the cloud, simply observe it. Watch how the cloud drifts across the vast sky of your awareness. See how it moves, how it changes, how it eventually dissolves into the vast openness. Feel how your body and mind soften as you welcome the fear with acceptance, allowing it to be just as it is, impermanent and passing. Breath as an anchor in change. Return your attention to the breath once more. With every inhale, draw in a sense of calm and presence. With every exhale, release tension, fear, or resistance. Imagine your breath as a gentle anchor, steady and reliable, keeping you grounded amid the shifting currents of emotion and thought. No matter what arises, fear, joy, doubt, or peace, your breath remains your companion, always present. Embracing the flow of life, bring your attention to the larger flow of life, the ever-changing dance of birth and decay, beginnings and endings, growth and decline. Visualize yourself standing at the edge of a vast ocean. See the waves rise and fall, endless and rhythmic like the waves. Your experiences, including fear, rise, crest, and fall away. There is no need to grasp the wave or resist it. Simply allow yourself to move with the tide, resting in the awareness of impermanence, inviting compassion for yourself as you soften resistance to change and fear. Invite compassion to arise within your heart. Say silently or aloud to yourself, "May I be gentle with myself during times of change. May I find peace amidst uncertainty. May I embrace fear as a teacher, not a foe." Feel the warmth and kindness of these intentions settling deep within you. Mindful presence in impermanence. Now, bring your awareness back fully to the present moment. Notice the sensations of your body, the sounds around you, the temperature of the air on your skin. Sense the aliveness of this moment, this ever-changing, fleeting moment that you are fully inhabiting. Allow yourself to rest in this mindful presence, knowing that all experiences, pleasant or difficult, are part of the natural flow. When you feel ready, begin to deepen your breath. Feel energy returning to your body as you gently wiggle your fingers and toes. Slowly open your eyes or lift your gaze. Take a moment to appreciate this practice of embracing impermanence. Remember that the wisdom and calmness you cultivated here is always available, a refuge in any storm. As you continue your day or evening, keep in mind the metaphor of the stream, the ocean, and the ever-changing sky. Practice softening resistance when fear or change arises. Return often to the breath, your steady anchor, and carry the gentle acceptance of impermanence with you, allowing each moment to flow freely. In this segment, we turn our attention from the meditation cushion and the quiet of formal practice to the bustling flow of daily life. Here, courage is not the thunderous act of heroism found in stories or movies, but the gentle, steady willingness to face each moment with presence and integrity, even when fear or discomfort arises. In Zen, courage is not about being fearless. It is about showing up fully, moment by moment, with awareness and openness, no matter what life brings. This courage is quiet, humble, and deeply transformative. It is accessible to everyone because it is woven into the fabric of every day. Experience courage as presence in the ordinary. Consider the simple act of waking each morning. For many, this is an opportunity for a fresh start. But sometimes, it can also be a moment shadowed by dread, the weight of challenges, worries, or unresolved pain. To wake and breathe into this moment fully is itself an act of courage. Zen teaches us that courage begins with presence, being truly awake to what is here and now, without turning away. When you rise from sleep, instead of immediately rushing into tasks or distractions, pause. Notice the sensations of your body. Feel the ground beneath your feet. Take a mindful breath. In these simple moments, you practice a foundational courage, the courage to be present. Facing fear in small moments. Daily life offers countless small invitations to courage. It might be the courage to speak honestly with a loved one, even if it risks discomfort, or the courage to ask for help when overwhelmed. Perhaps it is the courage to admit a mistake or to try something new despite uncertainty. These are not grand gestures, but essential acts of bravery that nourish your spirit. Zen reminds us that courage is not the absence of fear, but the decision to move forward in spite of it. Each time you face a difficult conversation, a challenging task, or even a moment of loneliness, you exercise this quiet courage. Mindful awareness as a source of courage. Mindfulness, the heart of Zen practice, is a powerful ally in cultivating courage. When you are mindful, you notice the sensations of fear or hesitation as they arise in your body and mind. You observe without judgment the quickening heartbeat, the tightening in the chest, the restless thoughts. This awareness creates a space, a pause between feeling fear and reacting to it. You can choose how to respond. You may find that fear loses some of its grip when simply witnessed with calm attention. Through mindfulness, you cultivate steady presence that supports courageous action. Courage in everyday challenges. Imagine the many small challenges we face each day. Traffic jams, difficult emails, disagreements with coworkers, juggling responsibilities, or coping with uncertainty about the future. Each challenge can be a moment to practice courage instead of reacting with frustration or avoidance. Zen invites you to meet these moments with openness and calm. For example, when stuck in traffic, rather than allowing impatience to grow, you might breathe deeply and accept the situation as it is. This acceptance does not mean resignation, but a courageous acknowledgement of reality. By responding with equanimity, you prevent small stresses from escalating. Courage in compassion. Courage and compassion are closely intertwined in Zen. It takes courage to be compassionate, to open your heart to the suffering of others and yourself without turning away. Daily acts of kindness, patience, and understanding are expressions of this courageous compassion. When someone behaves harshly or when you witness injustice, responding with empathy and care rather than anger requires bravery. Similarly, offering yourself compassion in moments of struggle when you feel vulnerable or flawed is a courageous act that fosters healing. The Zen teachers' examples and stories often remind us that true courage arises from deep wisdom and calm. Teachers like the Buddha or Zen masters faced immense challenges and fear, yet remained rooted in presence and compassion. They did not seek to conquer fear by force, but transformed it through mindful awareness. Their lives inspire us to find this same courage within our own ordinary moments, building courage step by step, just like developing any skill. Courage grows gradually with practice. Begin by noticing moments when you feel small hesitations or fears. Set gentle intentions to face these moments with mindfulness and kindness. Celebrate your efforts, no matter how small. Over time, you may notice a growing capacity to stay calm and present, even in difficult situations. Practical exercises for daily courage. Here are some practical ways to cultivate courage daily. Morning intention. Each day, set a simple intention to face challenges with calm courage. Mindful pauses. When you notice fear or discomfort, pause and take a few mindful breaths before responding. Small acts. Choose one small, courageous act each day, speaking up, expressing gratitude, or trying something unfamiliar. Self-compassion. When self-judgment arises, practice compassion by speaking to yourself kindly. Reflective journaling. At day's end, reflect on moments of courage and areas for growth. Zen teaches that fear is a natural part of life and not something to be defeated. Instead, it is an opportunity for growth and deeper presence. Each moment of fear invites you to return to your breath, to your body, to the stillness beneath the surface of thoughts. With each return, your courage strengthens. Remember, the path of courage is not a destination, but a journey, unfolding moment by moment. Be patient and gentle with yourself. Celebrate your progress. And when fear arises, greet it as an old friend, inviting you to deepen your practice. Through this ongoing journey, courage and calm become your natural companions. This practice invites you to gently move forward, grounded in calm awareness and steady presence, cultivating confidence with each breath and every small, intentional action. Let's begin by finding a comfortable position, whether seated or lying down. Allow your body to relax fully. Close your eyes if that feels safe and comfortable, or soften your gaze. Begin by noticing your breath, the natural, unforced rhythm of inhalation and exhalation. Feel the gentle flow of air entering your nostrils, filling your lungs, and releasing again as you settle into this breath. Set a quiet intention for this meditation, to move beyond fear, step by step, with mindful courage and open-hearted confidence. Feel your body supported wherever you are. Imagine roots gently extending from your body into the earth, grounding you. Feel the stability beneath you, the earth holding you securely. With each inhale, breathe in calm. With each exhale, release tension. Begin to bring your attention to your feet, the foundation of every step you take. Feel the sensations there, the weight of your feet pressing into the floor or ground, the textures beneath them. Visualize yourself standing at the beginning of a path. This path represents your life's journey, moments of joy, challenge, growth, and change. Ahead lies the unknown, the territory where fear often lingers. But you are ready to walk forward with gentle courage as you breathe. Invite a sense of softness and openness to arise in your heart. Imagine this openness as a warm light, welcoming and steady. This light surrounds your heart, expanding with each breath, filling your entire being with warmth and calm. Now, picture the first step on this path. It might be a small step, a simple action, perhaps speaking your truth gently, asking for help, trying something new, or simply breathing through a difficult feeling. With your next inhale, feel the courage to take this step. With the exhale, allow any hesitation or doubt to soften, like mist dissolving in morning sunlight. Feel your foot lifting gently from the ground, moving forward with intention and placing itself steadily on the path. This is your mindful step, small but powerful. Notice what arises in your body and mind as you take this step. Perhaps there is some nervousness or excitement, or maybe a quiet resolve. Allow all feelings to be present without judgment. They are part of your journey. Acknowledge them with kindness. Now, feel the other foot preparing to follow. Breathe in courage. Breathe out fear. Lift your foot and place it firmly ahead. You are moving mindfully forward, one step at a time. Imagine now walking along this path at your own pace. There is no rush. Each step is an opportunity to practice presence and confidence as you walk. Notice the rhythm of your footsteps aligning with your breath. Inhale, exhale, step, step. This harmony anchors you in the present moment, dissolving worries about past or future. Feel the strength and grace in your movement. You are capable. You are supported. In this mindful walking, recognize that fear may arise again, perhaps as a shadow on the path or a gentle breeze chilling the air. Instead of avoiding fear, greet it as an old companion. Observe how it feels in your body without resistance. Notice its shape, texture, or color in your imagination. With compassion, invite fear to walk alongside you, neither holding on tightly nor pushing it away. Breathe into this presence, allowing courage to shine through as you continue this meditation. Bring your attention to your hands. Notice their position, their sensations. Visualize your hands opening slowly, releasing any tight grip on fear or doubt. Feel the spaciousness that emerges, a space where possibilities unfold. With open hands, you are ready to receive support. Give kindness and embrace new experiences. Return your focus now to your breath. Feel it steady and calm, a reliable anchor no matter what arises. Know that with each mindful breath, you cultivate resilience and confidence. Trust that the courage to take the next step is always available to you here. Now, in this moment, imagine now that your path leads to a beautiful, peaceful place, perhaps a sunlit forest glade, a quiet beach, or a serene mountain meadow. In this place, you feel safe, nurtured, and deeply connected to yourself. Take a moment to absorb this sense of well-being. Know that this peace is within you and accessible anytime you choose. As this meditation draws to a close, bring your awareness back to your physical body. Feel your feet grounded, your spine tall yet relaxed, your heart open. Take a few deep breaths, savoring the calm and confidence you have cultivated. When you are ready, gently wiggle your fingers and toes. Stretch your arms or legs if you wish. Open your eyes slowly, returning to the room with a sense of renewed strength and mindful courage. Remember, each mindful step forward, no matter how small, is a victory over fear. You carry the power to face life's challenges with calm presence and gentle bravery. Carry this awareness with you as you move through your day, walking your path with steady courage.